We gotta find. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find.
What is going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? Oh man, it is hot up in this garage today. Good old nice cool 91 degrees, but we're gonna work through it. Let's see, what do we got going on today? So it's been an interesting day. Let's pull up X actually real quick. We'll go into this little piece of information first. Boom, boom. Let me get on here. I gotta set that so mine don't pop up. But, so come to find out that Smash JT has been deleting his videos. Well, not deleting, we'll say. He has been, what's the word for it? Privating them. So, or I want to even say unlisted. I don't know which one is the one where you can't use the link to get in. Maybe privated is the one that you can't. But, boom. Reading. Let's start out with some reading today. Boom. Yeah, gonna come on here. Source. Oh yeah. I didn't choose. I always forget to choose which one. One day I'll get this right. Boom. He's so big too. Boom. All right, let's try this again. There it is. There it is. I want to adjust this a little bit. I think I can make this a little bit bigger and easier for y'all to see. There we go. Looking good. So anyway, it looks like Smash JT has been privating some of his videos. We got two down here. YouTuber, streamer, insane death threats go viral is missing, and you can click right there. Video unavailable. And then the next one that I've seen is this one right here. CO leaks Discord, exposes scary Kotaku agenda. So this one is also missing. I've been told that these videos may have some of the stuff that he's getting hit for defamation. I know for certain these videos are in the lawsuit. And a while back, he actually deleted the video where he says that Alyssa sucks dick for money. So it's interesting that that one got removed as well. I think he removed it because this clip.
Kotaku named a former sex worker turned journalist working at Kotaku named Alyssa Mercante sucks more at journalism than she did sucking dicks, I would imagine. A former sex worker turned journalist working at Kotaku.
I don't know if his lawyers told him something. I don't know if something else is going on, but he is, I mean, he's not looking very confident if he's doing this, right? From my point of view, if he's, you would think he'd be keeping these up if they're falling under the freedom of speech that he believes in. And I'll say most of the things that he says, I think are freedom of speech. I don't think that's where the case is going to fall. It's kind of a how many times, like, when is it too much? When is you going over a figure too much, and when does it lead to harassment? But he paused and then said, or so I've heard. It sounds like that's a solid saying in Minecraft. Or allegedly is another one that people like to use. And I get that. I don't know if it's a bad thing to say, but I've also heard that, like, it does nothing. You can say allegedly, you can say in Minecraft, you can say all sorts of stuff. And Minecraft is only saving you from the algorithm. But, yep, that's that right there. Good old Smash JT and his, I guess he, like I said, not feeling as confident as he did at the beginning of this. I mean, video after video on how this case is frivolous and everything else, but suddenly we're deleting stuff. Suddenly we've got to remove what's out there. So that's kind of the first little part. It's not very big when it comes to it. I mean, it's just this has happened kind of deal, but I'll be keeping an eye out for anything else that gets deleted. I'm going to pee through Wargaming Dad's letterbox, or so I've heard. Oh man, it's all junk mail anyway, so I think we'll be okay. But yeah, it's lowbrow. It's an attempt at a joke. I'll say this: the first time I watched this, I'm like, it's a crazy statement, right? But very much, it's an attempt at a joke, even if he sounds like he's forcing it on there. So that's what's been done there. So we're gonna get, and that's done. We're gonna get into just a little. Before we get into the main content, we're gonna view a couple of other videos here. I've got this video by Not Malcolm, Gaming YouTube's Biggest Hypocrite. So I figured we would start there and move our way around. Why did this mess up? Hold on. Here we go again. There we go. I must have adjusted it last stream. Then we move it over here and make it a little bigger for you guys. And lock that in. So anyway, YouTube's Biggest Hypocrite. Little short video. Let's see what's going on here.
I thought you said you weren't going to be bought.
These companies will do anything for money.
Like every other journalist out there getting paid for reviews.
Journalists have become cheerleaders for the industry.
Really?
Okay, is he insinuating that Legendary Drops has been paid for a review?
Disappointed in the hypocrisy here.
This video is actually sponsored by Blood Message.
So let's just get into it. Do you know this guy, Legendary Drops? He has a gaming commentary channel here on YouTube, and in his videos, he's often putting the games industry in its place, rightfully so. In his videos, he levies a lot of criticism toward AAA game companies and the games they create.
And how shallow and utterly vapid the rest of this industry has become.
I'll say, after watching the little soy video I watched before, I am a little less, like, I listened to him and he really isn't saying anything of note. That's wild, this opening, considering what I just dropped in Discord. Hold on, I'll have to go look at what you dropped in Discord too here.
Live service slop that has taken over.
But anyways, yeah, there's I watched a soy lefty content creator, and the beginning of it was kind of eye-opening in the fact that he really doesn't say anything. It's just kind of like he's Endymion with less woke, we'll say, or less anti-woke on there. But yeah, I'll keep listening.
Over the video game industry, the excessive monetization.
In a world that is drowning in microtransactions and endless live service models.
The out-of-touch game developers, the drab state of games journalism.
Instead of giving honest reviews, journalists have become cheerleaders for the industry.
Just in the last year or two, his subscriber count has skyrocketed. He gets hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions of views per video. And for the most part, his message has always been very pro-gamer, pro-consumer. And I always respected that. That is, until a few days ago, when he posted a video that makes me think it's time to add him to the ever-growing list of gaming influencer sellouts.
Today's video is actually about Blood Message, as well as an Eastern torrent of games that we're seeing. This video is actually sponsored by Blood.
Oh no, he's on the Eastern, the Eastern games are saving gaming grift.
Message.
You done lost your damn mind.
Legendary Drops.
Was that the... Okay, is Blood Message the From Software multiplayer Twitch, or not Twitch, Nintendo game?
Posted a video where he was sponsored to promote a game called Blood Message, which is published by an $80 billion Chinese company called NetEase.
Oh, not NetEase.
So why this is so messed up on so many levels? Let me just read one of the comments someone left on that video. I thought you said you weren't going to be bought, like every other journalist out there getting paid for reviews. It's a pretty giant conflict of interest, no matter how you try to cleverly disguise your light criticisms, to have the subject of your video also happen to be your sponsor. These are the exact same bad moves you've harped on while talking about other people doing this exact crap. That comment's the mother I never had, the friend that everybody deserves. Because being a sellout is one thing, pretending that you're not a sellout while you actively shill for a multi-billion-dollar company.
Okay, yeah, that looks pretty bad, considering, yeah, that's pretty much what he does, is talk about bad journalism and gaming. So why would you take, well, $1 billion sponsorship? No NetEase game. Gotcha. Either way, like, it's still I guess a big company with a huge game, and they're pushing for it. And these big companies aren't going to let you, like, dog the game. Very rarely does a dev give you the option to actually dog their game, right?
That's a whole different ballgame.
It's the debut title from 24 Entertainment, a new internal team at NetEase Thunderfire.
Legendary Drops has built his entire channel on being critical of greedy, out-of-touch game companies. Yet here he is getting sponsored by NetEase, a company with a prolific history of engaging in shady anti-consumer practices.
Several employees at NetEase Games have been arrested under suspicion of money laundering.
It just comes down to corporate.
Oh, no.
Games, the studio behind Marvel Rivals, is being sued by State of Decay co-creator Jeff Strain for the princely sum of $900 million.
From alleged stock manipulation, corruption investigations, to employee fraud and money laundering, let's discuss.
Dude, these Chinese companies are just absolute menaces. What's wrong with us getting paid argument is so flaccid. You're getting paid for AdSense and usually fan crowding through super chats and services like Patreon, but it's just not 5 bed houses and 3 cars money, so they sell out. Yeah, it really is, like, just once you get started, you want to keep piling the money up. I mean, I can appreciate the grift, right? But if you're going to take a sponsorship, maybe don't take a sponsorship that's in your wheelhouse of where you, oh, did I not get that one? Of where you work, right? You're talking about gaming's journalism. Probably shouldn't take a game sponsorship unless it's maybe some indie company that, you know, you're really proud of, who's doing, you know, the right thing, but definitely not someone as big as NetEase and with their bad reputation.
The controversies and lawsuits of NetEase.
And as this commenter pointed out, Legendary Drops has frequently criticized games journalists who he believes are in the pockets of game companies and are therefore more inclined to give favorable reviews to games made by AAA publishers.
The minute that you start going out and trying to shape and lead the conversation around a game in a certain direction is the minute that you have switched from earning our money to thieving.
So it's ironic.
Oh, man.
That he's now here promoting a game that's paying him to do so.
Today, what I want to do is I want to talk about access journalism.
And to make matters worse, this game Blood Message isn't even out yet. There's not even a release date for this game. There's a reason he just replays the trailer footage over and over again in the video, because he hasn't even played the game himself, bruh. I'm dead ass.
From the
Dude, that's like a cardinal sin, or it used to be a cardinal sin in gaming. Like playing a game that hasn't come out yet, or a live service or something like that, where you're just promoting something for no other reason than money. But as we've seen, the grift, well, I can't say grift, they might genuinely believe in it, but the money talks when the cards are down. Wait, did he just say this was sponsored? Who, not Malcolm? I think, hold on, let's go back.
outside, obviously we haven't played the game yet, so we have no idea what it's really going to be like.
This is extremely and to make matters worse, this game Blood Message isn't even out yet. There's not even a release date for this game. There's a reason he just replays the trailer footage over and over again in the video, because he hasn't even played the game himself.
Okay, let's see here. Bro is talking this game up so much with only the trailer. He didn't even say what he was basing his view off of until 9 minutes in, and I quote, "After watching the trailer and listening to what the devs were actually trying to deliver, this whole video review is paid fluff." I enjoy a lot of this video, but a lot of the time it seems like he's talking to a group of people that always agree with him. Yeah, this is a failing here. saying that, I don't know if he ever said he was sponsored. We'll keep listening. Maybe it'll come up. But this is like a failing of content creators. You start getting gassed up by the people around you, and then you think your talking points are good. I've seen Smash JT actually say this out loud. He's like, I get so many good comments and so many people that like you. If this is presented as a review and not disclosed as a sponsorship, that's straight up illegal, man. I doubt he did that, but because he does mention, he said in the thing that it's a trailer, but now you're making me go back further.
Actively shill for a multi-billion-dollar company, that's a whole different ballgame.
It's the debut title from 24 Entertainment, a new internal team at NetEase Thunderfire.
Legendary Drops has built his entire channel on being critical of greedy, out-of-touch game companies. Yet here he is getting sponsored by NetEase, a company with a prolific history of engaging in shady anti-consumer practices.
Several employees at NetEase Games have been arrested under suspicion of money laundering.
It just comes down to corporate greed.
NetEase Games, the studio behind Marvel Rivals,
A thing I've seen too, now that we're back to this like Chinese greed and stuff like that, like Chinese companies are known to be corrupt, right? The government's corrupt. There you see all the stuff about buildings not getting done properly. There was the mess where the building the real estate market almost crashed the whole economy because they were just building and building and building and ballooning up the market, but not actually finishing the buildings. So if people think these Chinese companies are going to come in and do anything but fuck up games even more, they're in for a rude awakening.
is being sued by State of Decay co-creator Jeff Strain for the princely sum of $900 million.
From alleged stock manipulation, corruption investigations, to employee fraud and money laundering, let's discuss the controversies and lawsuits of NetEase.
And as this commenter pointed out, Legendary Drops has frequently criticized games journalists who he believes are in the pockets of game companies and are therefore more inclined to give favorable reviews to games made by AAA publishers.
The minute that you start going out and trying to shape and lead the conversation around a game in a certain direction is the minute that you have switched from earning our money to thieving.
So it's ironic as fuck that he's now here promoting a game that's paying him to do so.
Today what I want to do is I want to talk about access journalism.
And to make
still a funny statement,
this game Blood Message isn't even out yet. There's not even a release date for this game. There's a reason he just replays the trailer footage over and over again in the video, because he hasn't even played the game himself, bruh. I'm dead ass.
From the outside, obviously we haven't played the game yet, so we have no idea what it's really going to be like.
This is extremely misleading because how in the hell are you going to promote something you haven't even touched?
This game feels bioengineered to be exactly what a lot of people have been looking for.
The game could be garbage. It could be broken as fuck, riddled with bugs, rigged with de novo, filled with microtransactions. It could be chock full of CCP propaganda for all we know.
I love them. China.
But here is a multi-billion-dollar company writing him a check to do not a 60-second ad, but an entire video. The entire video is the ad.
Yeah, I think that's even worse. Like the fact that it's not just, I just destroyed my bike. All right, I left it out in the storm. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, but this contrast with ad sponsors. Yeah, an entire video is kind of crazy too. That's my opinion with this video. Like, how would you... I don't know that I could live with myself knowing that, I did this kind of sponsorship just for money. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if the money ever starts rolling in. But, God, I would hope that I don't break down just for a paycheck.
Advertisement. Again, this is NetEase. They're more than double the size of EA. They don't just make video games either. They're one of the largest internet service providers in the world. And according to Wikipedia, they have a ton of pig farms. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I can guarantee you they...
Oh no, I gotta rescue those pigs from the Chinese.
Paid him hella bacon for this video.
Now come on now.
And this is my hot take, okay? But if you're a video game YouTuber, you should never be doing dedicated ads for video games. These viewers are coming to you for your honest opinions about video games. And there's a reason gamers...
If you're a video game YouTuber, Now, generally, those are going to be the people that these ad companies, target. But like mobile game ones, I really don't care about, especially if it's just some guy who doesn't talk about those kind of things. But yeah, if you're a gaming YouTuber and you take a sponsorship for a game, especially one that's not out, like I think the best argument is to do like a review of the game. But even then, it's starting to get to the point that these games feel, what's the word? I mean, you can tell that it's getting harder for people to talk bad about the game. And a lot of companies won't let you have the review. Like big companies are definitely not going to.
Hate when YouTubers do shit like this.
Because I uploaded a Starfield video that was a dedicated ad, and the comments wrecked me. I was ashamed.
It's insulting as fuck.
You wonder why people don't respect you when you don't respect the intelligence of your audience.
Furthermore, he makes this even worse by trying to tie this sponsored game into this weird, twisted message about how Eastern games are superior to Western games.
No.
Down its identity to appeal to a global market, it leans into its culture that the world is a lot bigger than a handful of ideas Western studios have been stuck on for decades.
Any game company, regardless.
So he's straight up shilling for the East in his video. So it sounds like just all of his other videos, but he's sliding in this ad, right? I hope he did disclose it. But I mean, either way, it's a very light, like the game's not out yet. It's so dishonest.
This of where they are geographically can make a great game, or they can make a shitty game. I've spent many a sleepless night in PC bongs playing Eastern games, and they're not the magical beacon of hope that he thinks they are. Are we forgetting the part where it was actually Eastern games that brought microtransactions?
I have zero tolerance for it. There's too much conflict of the internet, and customers are being bamboozled by the breakdown between the influencer and corporate entity using them as a marketing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that is, it's come out at straight up scams, and it's because YouTubers will just take it. They see the guy that, what is it? Better Health, recently that extension that came out as actually stealing from content creators. This is one of the biggest reasons why I stopped following people like Yong Ye after he shilled Cyberpunk 2077 when it came out. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. I've definitely distanced myself from even a lot of game reviewers because the big names, you just don't know if they're being honest, and then some of them you can just tell by how soft they're being on the game itself, even when it's bad, right? I'm not saying you have to be like me going after Smash JT or an anti-woker, but you at least need to, I don't know, need to have that journalistic separation, right? General audiences will shit on IGN and Kotaku for access journalism, but not realizing these YouTubers are just as bad. Yeah, it's become pretty horrid.
Transactions into the mainstream? Are we forgetting about Nexon and MapleStory? Are we forgetting it was the East that popularized gacha games, which are basically casinos in video game form, notoriously predatory?
It's a gacha game, guys. Gacha games are already by design predatory.
And this brings me to who is actually sponsoring him, the company behind Blood Message, which is NetEase. I find it fascinating that someone who has crusaded against greedy game companies is being sponsored by one of the most money-hungry game companies of all. NetEase publishes so many slimy gacha and mobile games that are chock full of microtransactions.
Oh no, I might get eaten.
Plentiful. They also have a history of fully abandoning
come on.
profitable enough for them. That is, after players have spent hundreds of dollars of their money on that game. They're known to just shut down servers without any warning.
The game came out 4 days ago. On the same day, the studio had to shut down.
But I guess for him, NetEase gets a pass because
I remember that.
Eastern games are thriving.
Yeah, this is what I hate about the Eastern narrative games. Like, the East has a terrible reputation, but because West bad, we just ignore all of that and say that they're saving games because one or two games come out that are popular. And the thing is like, when you look at games like Black Myth Wukong, which I think is a good game, right? I haven't played it, but it has earned its kind of reputation. And what was the other Chinese game that came out recently? But it's like their player base is dedicated to Japan, and Japan is enormous. So when they get, 200,000, 300,000 concurrent, it's not the Western market. It's all in the East. There was a game I recently the anti-woke were shilling, and I looked at it and I was like, you realize that it's only like 3% in the West. This game isn't wanted in the West. And I would bet if I went and looked at the numbers for Black Myth Wukong, it was the same thing. I could believe that it was maybe a little bit higher, but not to the state where it's like winning over the West.
While Western titles are drowning in complaints, controversy, and creative stagnation.
But in this case, it's the hypocrisy that does it for me. Taking a check from NetEase is antithetical to this whole exploitative game companies are bad rhetoric he's been touting in videos to no end for the last year. How is anyone supposed to trust anything he says moving forward? It's such a fast and easy way to lose credibility, and I'm sorry if this video comes across as too harsh, but my overarching message here is that content creators have become so entangled with game companies that
they're all jumping on stop killing games. Now it's popular too, but have no idea how much worse the Eastern markets would make it. Yeah, and they're slowly encroaching. They know they can't just buy out the whole market, right? We probably won't let that, the government probably won't let that happen. They'll step in, but they're slowly, like the Ubisoft deal, working into the side company. While it's not buying out those IPs, it's 100% encroaching more on that money and getting more influence over these games. Most of the good games that come out from the East are usually from Japan, and even then they're still greedy as fuck. Oh yeah, absolutely. Look at Nintendo and its anti-consumer practices. Yeah, it's a whole different world over in Japan, and people can't separate the difference between Japan and China. It's just East good. But yeah, I agree with you there.
it's actually difficult to find creators who haven't taken a check from them or who aren't in a creator program. And it's so much more disappointing.
Nintendo is insane. Dude, some of the stuff I've seen Nintendo do, they're one of the few companies that still will take down YouTube videos, even though the entire market has pretty much agreed that that's a bad thing to do.
Drops because this is the diametrical opposite of what he said he stands for.
When I sit here and I unload on these AAA publishers and these studios, I think that one thing gets lost is that I want them to fail because it's the only language that these companies understand.
How can you say I want these AAA publishers and studios to fail when you're actively working with them and in support of them? This is inconceivable, and it epitomizes the complete buffoonery going on within the gaming space, especially here on YouTube. As a matter of fact, because of the corruption within games media, I feel like a lot of players now look to content creators like him to get authentic news and recommendations for games.
You know, we've been following the decline of games media on this channel for over a year now,
but it's becoming more and more apparent that these YouTubers are repeating the same pattern of behavior as the games journalists they've criticized.
Games journalism used to mean something. It was supposed to be about keeping players informed, holding developers accountable, and exposing bad business practices.
It's so crazy hearing this again, and the more and more I just think he's a little weasel like the rest of them. Right?
Content creators left and right are getting wined and dined by game companies. They're getting paid to review games. They're getting sponsored to hype up and promote games that a lot of the time are actually terrible. They're walking advertisements for game companies.
When you turn your back on the people that keep you employed, well, you find yourself unemployed. Odd how that works.
The East are all just yellow people with funny funny eyes and the eyes of gamers. I didn't expect that out of you, Simon. You will buy our games and like it.
I love being right.
This has to be a humiliation kink, right?
Probably not. Oh man, okay. That was pretty good. Y'all should go subscribe to his channel, even though he's much bigger than me. Because that's a good video. I'll definitely thank you, Simon. He's something that I'm like this one is one we may watch today, depending on where we get in it. I'm gonna milk the rest of the pirate software drama going on in here. Hey, I do like my daddy jokes as well. Good Lord, if they have monopoly over microtransactions. Yeah, I mean, the thing I dislike so much about the East, at least I know in China, is microtransactions are normalized there. Like it's expected, and the fight has always been to bring it to the West. And there has been some normalization of things, but like loot boxes are pretty much done. I think we're seeing less and less of them because it's a problem. And but now with like yeah, pay to win will be expected. Yeah, pay to win will be expected, and I hate that that's like slowly encroaching. Like there's people who are like, oh, it's just a weapon. And I can make the argument, like I just downloaded Helldivers and I'm going to start playing, and they do put weapons behind a paywall, but it's PvE, so it's almost like my brain wants to say it's more accepting. I don't like saying that. It makes me feel dirty, but it's not PvP. But it's still a weapon tied behind a paywall, and if it's one of the best weapons out there, then that may be a problem. So, but let's kind of move on here. Higginbottom, no. We're gonna go over this video first. So, because I had it first on the docket, the content nuke pirate software. So it looks like this guy is bringing up allegations of pirate software in the realm of grooming. If this is what I think it is, then I'll have my piece on it, but I don't want to poison the well just yet. So we're gonna watch this one and see what this guy has to say. Another short video, only 20 minutes.
What a video. I just want to start by saying this video gets into some pretty heavy topics, including doxing, sexual assault allegations, grooming minors, and much.
Okay, I haven't heard sexual assault allegations against him, so that's interesting. The grooming minors one, I think I know what it is. Doxing? Maybe.
Worse. So fair warning. As I began my deep dive into pirate software, there are things that I uncovered that I couldn't have even imagined I would be making a video about. Things that taught me more about him than I ever needed to know. I'm going to go over his credentials a little bit, but if you want to skip to the juicy stuff, you can click on this timestamp here. But I do want to establish a fact pattern to reinforce some of the later, more serious allegations. So in case you didn't know...
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but I work at Blizzard Entertainment. It's a cold world out there, folks, and it's only getting colder.
So I feel like it's pretty.
I was a little autistic.
Point that he was just like a nepotism hire. I mean, his dad was one of the first 10 employees at Blizzard Entertainment. He worked as a defensive security specialist. However, I want to point out there's no evidence he did any coding or game developing. So citing his time at...
Yeah, this is something I've heard. I watched a little video on it of a guy getting really in the weeds, autistically in the weeds on what pirate software did, and it doesn't seem like he did a lot of actual coding before he started making Heartbound.
at Blizzard when he's talking about everything from coding to fucking game developing to marketing is misleading, if not an outright manipulative lie. And I say manipulative lie because this is a part of a larger pathology. He's not some soy gamer nerd with a cringe, nerdy voice. He's a cool hacker guy, you know? It's this projection of being a cool professional with 7 years at Blizzard, a hacker with a deep voice who is not just some soy kid who likes to stream on Twitch. And it's fine. You could be a soy kid who likes to stream on Twitch, but like projecting this image that you're some like cool pseudo expert on everything and that you know about social engineering and that you're a hacker or whatever is just stupid. But there's very much intentionality behind it. There's a reason that he acts this way, and it's to get away from his past. There's a certain image he likes to project to get credibility, and through that credibility he wants to gain followers, and he wants to use those followers as a weapon. This pattern dates all...
Well, I mean, he did gain a lot of followers, and a lot of that is he learned how to game the algorithm in shorts, and then he would just say really basic small takes, and people, you know, it was easy for people to consume, and then people found him to start watching his content more live. Normally, I would say that doing that doesn't, you know, guarantee, like using shorts doesn't tend to cross over into the territory of streaming and YouTube videos, but in this case, he flooded the market so hard that, I mean, it did.
All the way back to 2007. He's intentionally curated this character to get away from this and that.
Oh, whoa. Hey, old Maldavius fig tree. So let's go back there, bud. Oh. Okay. Woodbury Sims and groups destroyed, admins banned, Fox Chase defined. Oh yeah. I've heard of this one. So let's read over this. This is the allegation of hacking. Second Life community at large breathed a sigh of relief today when, in a surprise. Oh, hold on. Run away! On my other server, I've got so much more stuff, I feel like. We'll hide in this corner right here. Hopefully they won't come to kill me. Alright, so let's take a look here. I just need to flat out fix this. One day I'll get this window capture stuff correct so that y'all can see and I can see. So we'll go there. Go there. Huh. All right, let's try that. The Second Life community at large breathes a sigh of relief today when, in a surprise move earlier today, Linden Labs administrators took the 4 regions belonging to the rogue group called Woodbury University offline in response to the egregious continuous violation of the Second Life terms of services and community standards. Information is sparse at the moment, but the decision could have been based on information acquired by 2 Linden employees embedded as watchdogs within the group, as well as information supplied by some half-dozen peacekeeper groups and internal informants. The group itself is currently being dismantled by Linden Labs, while its charter description and image logo are already removed. A large number of the members of Woodbury is already missing from search, presumably with more to follow. When word of this reached the membership, a mass exodus from the group took place as well. Nobody wanted to be caught being a member of Woodbury University. The 4 regions, oh, he's not going to take it all. So I remember this. I want to say Woodbury, I don't remember which side of this pirate was on, but it may be this Woodbury side. So let's continue.
This and that.
And this is So Pirate Software in Half-Life ran like a business, and the business supposedly did other thing involving coding, though I've seen no proof of that. But their main source of income was fursonas. It's crazy an image to tune into. Yes, it is. And if Grizzle shows up, I may bring him in to to be my resident Scaly to give me more information. But yeah, and a lot of these, this is one of the calmer ones. A lot of these fursonas were pretty sexual in nature.
That.
Okay. And this is the allegation of grooming. She got in one little fight. Her mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie." And what? Yeah, things like this is why she is gone. Businesses, gangsta at Deep Sphere. Read what I just put up. Riven. Yeah, so this is a allegation of grooming, because he did meet up with this person. They were a artist for him that made some of the furry art and things like that. But if I remember right, it's like she's 17 or he's 17. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. I know Pirate, I think, goes both ways, or he may just be gay. So if it's 17, and it's arguable if she was 17 or 16, and Pirate was either 19 or 20. So I guess there could be something bad there. They met up once IRL, as it says down there. I know this because I met her IRL. Oh, so she lives 2 hours from me. Yeah, so they met up, but they're still very much friends as far as I've seen. They've made up, and I think she even put out a statement.
And much more.
So to talk a little bit more about him playing this character and a little bit more of him feeding into it, we have these DEF CON badges, right? And these were given to everyone on teams. So it doesn't actually go to any individual person. So Thor claims, I got these badges. It went to me.
Now that I didn't know. I would like to
reality,
see.
It went to these teams, right? So you have
So that I would like to see something with it, because I've heard various things about this. Like, one thing I think is he may have been on the winning team, but it's just that. Yeah, he was in a 10-man team, if I recall. So yeah, he talks like he was the one. He never mentions the rest of his team. And man, I would like to get a hold of one of them and see how they considered him, because I bet it's not in the most favorable light, and I don't know how much he actually contributed to the group in finding these issues. Oh, the Coriolis storm, that's what it is.
a bunch of teams of people here. Now, he just happened to be a part of a couple of these teams. So one team consisted of 12 people, and one consisted of 21 people. So that does not equal. Let's put a little line in there. No. Circle around that. That's a little line. We'll put a line through that. He, over here, did not win a DEF CON badge.
So I alluded that he was running away from something with all this, and what was he running away from?
Oh, let's get it. Let's get to the good stuff. So if you've never heard of the Maldavius fig tree lore, there's a reason for that, besides it just being, deep into the lore. Anytime before the WoW incident, he would take down videos that mentioned Maldavius fig tree. He was always searching for him, and I believe he's even been seen in his Discord, like telling people to go and try and get it striked. usually for harassment. All his hacking seems to be social hacking, ringing up members and seeing if he could get them to falter on OPSEC and not bot. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I've read a social engineering book or two. I thought I was going to be like cybersecurity guy, and I realized I'm not really that good. Like I can't focus long enough to sit there and do a lot of that stuff that they do, especially when it comes to the server side of it. But you know, I've read the books. He could easily read the books and kind of figure out how some of that works. It's not, to me, it's not, if you're confident, it's not as difficult as you might think.
Despite the jokey nature of that intro, and I do like to keep it a little lighthearted, we're going to be going into some pretty serious topics here. Pirate Software used to go by the alias Moldavius Fig Tree. This is his earliest confirmed online presence. He's got a pattern of striking down anyone who uses...
Yeah, even before the Fursona stuff came out, I think he had accounts that were named Maldavius Fig Tree. He even, in Eve, I believe his name was Maldavius Fig Tree.
This name, so if you see that my channel's gone, that's why. Feel free to subscribe to my other channel, it'll be in the description, youtube.com/@lackingxl. Under this alias, Pirate Software was very active in the Second Life/furry community. Second Life...
Maybe I'll pull up the Eve one, because that's a pretty good one that most people don't, like, people haven't seen.
If is basically just a social game where people can own plots of land, make avatars, and code stuff, do a little ERP. It's basically Roblox and VR chat with more of an emphasis.
He's probably not going to show it, or at least I hope not, but there is a picture of Maldavius's VR character, having a little taste of something, we'll say. A little taste of some cock.
On middle-aged women who spend too much time online.
You know what, you little cocksucker? You want to threaten me again? Huh? I'm right here, you little shit. Threaten me now, fucker.
Now, despite being called Second Life, people treat it as their first life. You can literally hear people shutting their kids up in the background while they're crying just so they can be with their fake kids and their fake family. And he was known for many things in this community, most prominent of which was harassing users and turning them against each other to take their communities over, as well as scamming a 16-year-old girl out of money and then reporting her for being underage, despite knowing that at the time that she was making sexually charged avatars for him. Part of the claim is he fired her because she wasn't working, which would lead me to believe that the underage thing wasn't that much of a problem for him, but we'll go over the...
I don't remember the money, but it is a possibility. I'm glad it's basically a dead game. Yeah, I agree. I think there was a lot of weird stuff I remember hearing around it. A lot of weird stuff.
Those logs later. He also has a shop where you can see his over 100 fursuits for sale in game, as well as a replica of his ferret fursona. Now, there's a lot of things I didn't need to know about his romantic and sexual life, and I'm not here to shame him over that, and we'll leave it at that. But despite trying to scrub...
Oh, come on. Play in the mud a little bit.
Of his entire fursona off the internet, including taking down his wiki fur page, traces still linger. In an attempt to run away from his tarnished reputation and past, he's abused report and DMCA functions like EDP abuses cupcakes. Now, coming from a guy named Pirate Software, it's a bit ironic. Now, the first incident dates all the way back to 2007 to the Woodbury University region.
So I've heard something that says the reason he chose Pirate Software is because he knew it would be a popular name, like it would feed well into the algorithm. I don't know if he's that smart, but that's just something that's been said. Like he didn't pick it because of any real idea. He picked it because he thought it would do well.
Which was removed by admins of Second Life after Pirate Software completely trashed the realm. So I think trolling, griefing, all that's fun, it's cool. Griefing's a little iffy, trolling's great. But the problem is when you are basically destroying a piece of history, a historical landmark that is being engraved in virtual form, it's like graffitiing Wikipedia articles. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I do think some things are pertinent. So I'm not going to read all of this because I don't think all of it is pertinent. But the gist of it is that basically he took over the Woodbury University with his group and used it to plan raids and grief the entire thing. Now, it was so bad that Linden Labs had to completely delete the realm. Here, the real-life Woodbury University has been barred from having any official representation in Second Life since July of 2007.
So that was his. Hold on, let me go back and listen. I missed that.
with his group and used it to plan raids and grief the entire thing. Now, it was so bad that Linden Labs had to completely delete the realm. Here, the real-life Woodbury University has been barred from having any official representation in Second Life since July of 2007, when the original Woodbury University region was first trashed by Intliber, Brodigan employee, Maldavius Figtree.
Oh, that's what it was.
Destroyed less than a week later by Linden Lab itself. Linden Lab deleted the region and most of its users due to its use of a headquarters for planning and executing grid raids by now inactive griefing groups known as Patriotic Nigris. So yeah, I'd say pretty shitty. The first thing that you do as a notable member of the community is trash essentially what is historical preservation. And you want to know the reason he did it?
Oh man, I took part. I partook in my wiki graffitiing back in my teens. An entire school of 14-year-olds versus a wiki mods over the how the Grinch stole Christmas page was hell of an arc. I remember seeing a lot of stuff that was just crazy back when you could just put whatever you wanted on the wiki and they didn't have any real way to stop it. And I mean, it's kids being kids, right? Boys being boys. But so I can't necessarily fault him for griefing in a game if it comes down to that. It's still kind of I guess a little tail into the kind of person Pirate Software is. Though I don't know that he does it anymore. He has bad talked games with his large audience quite a bit, especially when the servers don't go his way. Come on, you. Oh, y'all can't even see what I'm doing here. Boom. Oh, come on. I swear I'm not this bad. Come on now. There we go, there we go. It's just one sign, I think, of the behavior that people like to use against it.
He did it because he was kicked off the project, but it doesn't stop there.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. He was kicked off the project, and then he went and took him down.
And I'll just go ahead and read this. Maldavius Figtree, notorious for having destroyed builds in the Woodbury University sim last summer, is in the news again this week after controversial firing of avatar designer Wingless Amodo. According to reliable sources, Figtree held a suspiciously timed staff meeting last Friday morning, a meeting timed for when Wingless Amodo would be asleep and therefore unable to attend. During this meeting, it was determined that the talented avatar creator Amodo was earning too much and should therefore be removed from staff. The terms of service for Figtree's company, Darksphere Creations, were then conveniently changed and Miss Amodo was removed from her position, all before she awoke to the news. So Mr. iPay...
So yeah, kind of what's crazy with this and like I would say the bad behavior around it is the way he let her go. Like he changed the terms of conditions. They knew she was a minor from the beginning, right? Whether she was 16 or 17 or however old they are when they met. But to just change the terms and conditions so that you can fire the person because you had probably some falling out. Pirate Software has a lot of falling outs with people.
For my mods, I give them healthcare. A little bit suspicious there. She was also accused of sitting on her ass, despite the fact that she was unable to work for a short period of time due to technical malfunctions. Her remaining avatars and creations continued to sell well throughout this period, generating significant real-life money for the company. Now that Wingless...
Oh yeah, this is where the money situation comes in. Her art was still up on the website, which I'm sure was in the terms and conditions, so I don't know how I feel, that's that egregious. But I guess they were arguing like it's her work, she should be getting paid for it in typical soy artist fashion.
Is gone, Maldavius Figtree is continuing to sell her avatars and refuses to return her creations and has ceased paying her commission that they had agreed upon. You could actually see a bunch of fanboys defending him because he is used to running this kind of cult, okay? This goes all the way back to 2007. He knows how to lie and manipulate and create a fiercely loyal fan base and use it in his favor, whether that's to attack people or defend him. But unlucky for him, we have the logs. Now, keep in mind this girl is underage, and this whole conversation is about her not producing producing enough sexually explicit avatars. She says, I made a druid named Peniscock. Moldavius says, cool, I ran the company while you sat on your ass. Wingless says, keep up the good work then, I intend to continue.
Another thing was this, is like she was just an artist, and apparently there was no timetables really put on her for the stuff. She would just make art and he would pay her for it, and then she would get commission off of him.
Sitting on my ass. I'm far too cheap to buy a new tablet right now, so that would be referring to the technical issues she was having. Moldavia says, you're an ass, you really are, you don't give a shit about this anymore, do you? You realize everyone else in the company is telling me just to drop your ass right now, even Greiler. Now, the veracity of these claims is suspect at best, given his track record at lying, but Wingless says, did I really in the first place? Money is nice and all, but mostly I build because I like doing it. So keep in mind, this is the conversation for why he fired her. She was having problems with a tablet, and she couldn't afford to replace it. You know, with all the money he was making, he probably could have bought it for her, especially considering she was underage at the time, so this was like...
I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, if she's doing freelance art stuff, then that's on her to save up the money. She's obviously making money off of this art, but she's also 17, so her saying, like, I just did it for fun, the money isn't that important, just kind of says it all. Like, she's fine with it.
Her only source of income, while Mr. Pirate Software was raking in most of the money as a 21-year-old making snide comments about how she's not working enough when she's having technical issues, which I'd say she's handling very maturely, by the way, for the most part, considering her age. But the other thing to note is this conversation...
He hasn't said her age, though.
Is insane, considering the fact that she worked solely on commission. It wasn't like he was draining away money, paying her a salary, or paying her by the hour or anything like that. She was literally only getting paid for the things she already made and got sold, which Pirate Software takes a cut of. But the even more funny thing is that these are the logs he leaked. Now let's get into the other logs that were leaked that he had no say in. Keep in mind, up to this point, he did not reveal she was underage. This is a conversation he had in a group chat. I don't know why he didn't expect this to be leaked. Moldavia's Fig Tree, aka Pirate Software, says, I fired her. She didn't work for 2 months, missed meetings because she was playing WoW and are too lazy to come. And then...
Well, yeah, she was a minor. She doesn't have any stake in the business, really.
Freaked out when I said I would be paying her on Fridays instead of point of sale due to tax complications, since I have to report all this income for taxes. That reasoning doesn't make any sense, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here, against my better judgment. Alex says she got in one little fight and her mom got scared and said, you're moving in with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. Moldavius posts those logs, like a small snippet of that conversation, which is completely out of context, as you can see by the logs we read, with her reasoning given. Then Moldavius says, things like this is why she's gone. Another user chimes in, dang, business is gangsta at Darksphere. Moldavius says, read what I just put up, Risfin? I don't know the fuck he's talking about, alright? She's also underage, so I've reported her. I know this because I met her IRL. She lives 2 hours from me, so that's what happened. So, let's just put this into perspective. He runs a business called Darksphere where he's making sexually charged avatars, or rather, he is getting other people to make the avatars for him, and then he's selling it on their behalf, taking a cut of it, and then arguing with them when they're not working enough. And in this business, he employed someone he knew was underaged, withheld money from her after she was fired, yet he still continued to sell her avatars, and then apparently at some point he met her in real life. Now the graffiti thing, he's young, he was what, 21 at the time, okay, fuck it, you know. I would be able to look past that if he'd shown any signs of changing his behavior, but it seems like he's doing the exact same things he was back then today, but this is just weird. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, obviously you shouldn't have a minor making sexually explicit avatars for you. You shouldn't be scamming them, but the meeting her in real life really just doesn't sit right with me.
I mean, I guess with her being a minor, he says 21, but if I remember right, it wasn't clear how old he was doing this. Of course, he says he's a certain age, so you have to take that with a grain of salt because he's Moldavius Fig Tree. But I don't know that it was ever confirmed. That's why I hate to like say this is a legitimate allegation, because there's not enough meat there for me to bring it up. Even when I was looking into this, and I have a couple of videos where I went over his stuff, though they're very bad, worse than my bad videos now. But yeah, I don't know. The age is very iffy.
And I can't say anything happened, but man, why? Why the fuck? Why would you do that? Now, this blew up a little bit on 4chan a couple years later, so we made a response to this, but it didn't really address anything substantive, like the fact that she was making sexual avatars. But what he did do is completely lie about the fact that he fired her in this excerpt here, which is just blatantly false given the other logs we have.
Let's see this one. It's all coming together on his positions today. Let's see. I fired her. She didn't work for... Yeah, we already read this one. Business is gangsta.
To mention the fact that he says he reported her afterwards, despite knowing she was underage before, and only seemingly reported her out of the fact that he was mad that she didn't work enough, which is just bottom of the barrel scumbag behavior. Either it's okay for her to...
Well, I mean, that depends. Like, if they had some kind of agreement where she was supposed to be putting out so much stuff, she's a teen, so you really shouldn't expect much out of her, right? But you can still say that she wasn't meeting her standards. I don't think that's scumbag behavior.
To be there, or it's not okay for her to be there because she's underage, in which case, why are you using her as a worker knowing she's underage and only reporting her after the fact? And then he tries to pretend that she was 17 instead of 16, and that he was 19 instead of 21, even though we know that's not true. And then he said we...
How do we know it's not true? I don't remember there being evidence that it was not true. Or at least nothing that's come up recently. Oh, I used it. That's why. That's why. Okay, we got that. We're about to go get my bike back. But yeah, I don't know that it was ever really confirmed. Is this stuff dated? Yeah, this is old stuff. I'm gonna try and pull this up. Oh, that's true. Let's see. I'll pull up the actual images. Fig tree, kiwi farm. That's right. I'm looking up the farms, and we're gonna watch a video about the farms today too. Pirate software, Fursona. A girlfriend he dated and broke up with. Woodbury University. So 1/18/2008. When was Pirate Software born? $1987. He was 20. Well, close to 20. So let's see. He was probably closer to 21. January 18th. July 17th. Yeah, he was still 20 at this time. Do we have... But we don't know her age. As a friend... This section particularly... Right, I'm doing that math right. 87 to 2008 is 20. January 2008. So he was like 6 months away from 21. 4 hours. Underaged girl. 20 years old. End of story. He met up with a minor as a 20-year-old adult. I mean, okay, that it depends on what her age was. The chat log was spread to 4chan. Now, he did lie. He said he was 19 and she was 17. Apparently, some people believe that I ripped off an underage artist 16 years ago. They were 17, I was 19. Well, we proved that that's not true. You were 20. We made avatars in Second Life. Yeah, 20 acting like a work factory overseas on a 17-year-old for furry skins. A fact, yeah, exactly. I mean, you can say the most egregious part is him starting the business with a 17-year-old, right? I hate the things like the Roblox stuff coming up where kids will work for Roblox bucks on like actual coding, and they'll be, you know, expected to work long hours and all sorts of other crazy stuff. You know, she's underage. She's underage. There were actual gunt guarding for his fans. In this timeline, Jason actually knew whether he was the minor and met up or like if she's 17 and he's 20, I don't give a fuck. Right? That's what, 3 years? So it's not a crazy age. This age of the internet where everyone's trying to call everyone a pedophile just for a 17 and 20. And even then, we don't know her birthday. She might be 16. If she's 16, it's a little bit weirder. I don't know that I would call it grooming allegations. I don't think there are any grooming allegations here. Hey, just letting you know, this coward deleted his accusation. Smug. I posted a chat log somewhere else. This is, I think, Smug Hat Kid. OP called me a pedophile for hiring a minor. Produce NFC. This isn't... OP failed to acknowledge. That's something different. Yeah. I mean, it's... If he can show where she was 16, maybe. But it's still, like, it's very, very loose allegations.
Made up, which doesn't mean anything. I would never look to a victim to see if what the person did to them is okay.
I will say he did lie about her being about him being 19. So yeah, 20 acting like, oh no, I already read that one. Man, I'm losing my mind. It's only 90 degrees in here, though. We got it down 1 degree.
Agreed upon. You could actually see a bunch of fanboys defending him because he is used to running this kind of cult, okay? This goes all the way back to 2007. He knows how to lie and manipulate and create a fiercely loyal fan base and use it in his favor, whether that's to attack people or defend him. But unlucky for him, we have the logs. Now, keep in mind this girl is underage, and this whole conversation is about her not producing enough sexually explicit avatars. She says, I made a druid named Penis Cock. Moldavius says, cool, I ran the company while you sat on your ass. Wingless says, keep up the good work then, I intend to continue sitting on my ass. I'm far too cheap to buy a new tablet right now, so that would be referring to the technical issues she was having. Moldavia says, you're an ass, you really are, you don't give a shit about this anymore, do you? You realize everyone else in the company is telling me just to drop your ass right now, even Greiler. Now, the veracity of these claims is suspect at best, given his track record at lying, but Wingless says, did I really in the first place? Money is nice and all, but mostly I build because I like doing it. So keep in mind, this is the conversation for why he fired her. She was having problems with a tablet, and she couldn't afford to replace it. You know, with all the money he was making, he probably could have bought it for her, especially considering she was underage at the time, so this was likely her only source of income. While Mr. Pirate Software was raking in most of the money as a 21-year-old making snide comments about how she's not working enough when she's having technical issues, which I'd say she's handling very maturely, by the way, for the most part, considering her age. But the other thing to note is this conversation is
My God damn it. Thank you, Nazar. One day I'll actually pay attention, and that won't happen. But anyway, like I was saying, it's she's a kid, so is it wrong for him to expect her to do with what she agreed to? Well, no. But is it also expected for her to care about this kind of job when all she was doing was, you know, designing art in a game she liked to play?
Insane, considering the fact that she worked solely on commission. It wasn't like he was draining away money, paying her a salary or paying her by the hour or anything like that. She was literally only getting paid for the things she already made and got sold, which Pirate Software takes a cut of. But the even more funny thing is that these are the logs he leaked. Now let's get into the other logs that were leaked that he had no say in. Keep in mind, up to this point, he did not reveal she was underage. This is a conversation he had in a group chat. I don't know why he didn't expect this to be leaked. A Moldavia's Fig Tree, aka Pirate Software, says, I fired her. She didn't work for 2 months, missed meetings because she was playing WoW and are too lazy to come. I then freaked out when I said I would be paying her on Fridays instead of point of sale due to tax complications, since I have to report all this income for taxes. That reasoning doesn't make any sense, but I'm
Yeah, it's furry skins, but it's not serious.
gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here against my better judgment. Alex says she got in one little fight and her mom got scared and said, you're moving in with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. Moldavius posts those logs, like a small snippet of that conversation, which is completely out of context, as you can see by the logs we read, with her reasoning given. Then Moldavius says, things like this is why she's gone. Another user chimes in, dang, business is gangsta at Darksphere. Moldavius says, read.
I feel like Pirate is one of those guys that he'll joke around all the time, but the moment you make a joke, he gets super serious, like you shouldn't be joking right now. Pirate Software of the world made HOAs. I've always hated those types. Yeah, it's you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's crazy behavior. We'll just say that. I completely lost my word. He's a fake nice guy. He wants to pretend to be nice until it's no longer convenient for him.
Read what I just put up. Risfin? I don't know the fuck he's talking about, alright? She's also underage, so I've reported her. I know this because I met her IRL. She lives 2 hours from me, so that's what happened. So let's just put this into perspective. He runs a business called Darksphere where he's making sexually charged avatars, or rather, he is getting other people to make the avatars for him, and then he's selling it on their behalf, taking a cut of it, and then arguing with them when they're not working enough. And in this business, he employed someone he knew was underaged, withheld money from her after she was fired, yet he still continued to sell her avatars, and then apparently at some point he met her in real life. Now the graffiti thing, he's young, he was what, 21 at the time, okay, fuck it, you know. I would be able to look past that if he'd shown any signs of changing his behavior, but it seems like he's doing the exact same things he was back then today.
Bureaucratic pencil pushers who aren't the people who make the world go round just claim the credit. That's a good way to put it. Like, he thinks he's a serious dude in the or he thought he was a serious dude in the hacking world, the red hat, white hat, whatever hat he wanted to put on world, and it just seems like he really didn't know what he was talking about, and most of the experts know that he's full of shit.
But this is just weird. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, obviously you shouldn't have a minor making sexually explicit avatars for you. You shouldn't be scamming them, but the meeting her in real life really just doesn't sit right with me. And I can't say anything happened, but man, why? Why the fuck? Why would you do that? Now, this blew up a little bit on 4chan a couple years later, so we made a response to this, but it didn't really address anything substantive, like the fact that she was making sexual avatars. But what he did do is completely lie about the fact that he fired her in this excerpt here, which is just blatantly false, given the other logs we have. Not to mention the fact that he says he reported her afterwards, despite knowing she was underage before, and only seemingly reported her out of the fact that he was mad that she didn't work enough, which is just bottom of the barrel scumbag behavior. Either it's okay for her to be there, or it's not okay for her to be there because she's underage, in which case, why are you using her as a worker knowing she's underage and only reporting her?
Well, I mean, that's because Pirate Software is only going to, when it's benefiting him, he's good, but when it's not benefiting him, he's going to use whatever he can against him because he thinks he's a hacker. Side note, how many people can be in a single server of this game? Ooh, that's a good question. Making me go down rabbit holes. Probably pretty large because that's the way it was back. Second Life server size. Second Life hosts multiple regions with one simulator per region and 4 or more sims per server. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, I meant for the Dune game, 60 is what can be in the server at once. So it's 60 per server, but then the main server has there's a main server that has multiple servers on it, and then each sub-server can have 60 people in it. And what happens is when you get to the end game, the Dune, the Dune, when you go to the deep desert, then it pulls from all the sub-servers so that you can have more people. I want to pull in the boys and space jihad the server. You can't. Now, most of the game is PvE, at least all of this first area, but once you get out to the deep desert, the half of the map is all PvE. And a lot of the good stuff, a lot of the good, tier 6 materials and stuff like that is in mostly the PvE zone. But let me know if you want to. I don't mind jumping in. I wouldn't mind having more people.
Her after the fact. And then he tries to pretend that she was 17 instead of 16, and that he was 19 instead of 21, even though we know that's not true. And then he said, "We made up," which doesn't mean anything. I would never look to a victim to see if what the person did to them is okay. There are plenty of...
Okay, she's not a victim, bud. I'm sorry. She's just not. Like, until you prove to me that she was like a 15-year-old girl with no agency, it's clear that he was 20 years old. Yeah, you, all the Grokken lads and even Grokken viewers, we absolutely bully non-believers. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Might make some fun chill streams for it too. But I mean, she's just not a victim, right? In this whole situation. So I hate, defending like this 17-year-old. Sure, he should probably be dating someone his age, but I'm not seeing where this is like grooming material. Just not at all.
Women who, even on the extreme ends, have been sexually assaulted who would say, "Oh no, it's okay, it's fine, we made up." That doesn't make what he did okay. And also, just want to point out, where's the money, Thor? Okay, you're making big streaming bucks now. Where's the money? I want hashtag where's the money.
Even that's kind of gay calling that out. I mean, even with this one, like, right, he was in control of the business. It's probably shit behavior. It probably is shit behavior if, she was promised the commission off of them percentage. But I mean, it sucks, and that's about all you can say about it.
Trending on Twitter.
I'm sorry, these aren't the strongest allegations you can make against Pirate Software. There's many more.
Okay, where is the money, Thor? Speaking of his pattern of scamming people, let's get into... So if you don't know Pirate Software, Mr. Moldavius Figtree is developing a game called Heartbound, and developing is putting it quite generously. The game was put up on Steam Greenlight somewhere around November 2016, and it had a release date set for 2017. And if you don't know, Steam Greenlight was basically a system that was implemented for a sort of quality control, community quality control on the Steam Marketplace. So basically a certain amount of community members had to agree on the project for it to go up on Steam. It reached that goal in December of 2016, and then on February 27th.
I'm curious with Thor's money currently. He has made out that his ferret stuff is completely non-profit and he wants to be bare minimum to survive. I don't know. I think that could be just like baiting, pretty much. Like, oh, see, I don't do anything like that. I doubt the non-profit is like anything serious. Is this thing still broken with it? But because I mean, it's a non-profit, we can probably go look up his ferret rescue and make sure the money is good. But okay, that's that. Where is the engine? Yep, the engine's down. But some of his other things that he talks about, like how good is he to work for? I know he says he pays his mods. How much does he pay them? How, you know, how well is it treated? There's a lot of things that you can start to dig up on Maldavius to see if any of it has any kind of actual merit to it.
2017, Pirate Software decided to do a Kickstarter fundraiser for Heartbound with a release date set for December of 2017. Speaking of more deceptive practices from Pirate Software, they put the funding goal at $5,000 because he knew the money would be raised in 24 hours and a bunch of news sites would pick it up. So the fundraiser ended on March 26th of 2017. And if you pledged $10 or more, you got a digital download of the game, which again was set for December 2017. On November 1st, 2017, it got pushed back. On February 6th of 2018, the wording was changed from "we are hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound by early to mid 2018."
God, you could like mirror Grums in this situation. Just bad game dev. Like I said, people have talked about his code, that it's just atrocious and it doesn't look like something a professional. It screams noob, right? Blizzard, man, it seems to churn out those middle management psychopaths. Yeah, it's crazy the way this works with these guys. They all come from Blizzard. They all have questionable experience in Blizzard, but use it to claim that they're game devs.
We are hoping to fully finish and release Heartbound in 2018. Then on October 25th, the wording again changed to Heartbound is launching into early access on Steam in 2018. And it did eventually release, quote unquote, into early access. And that was on December 25th, 2018. So a full year after they were promised.
Yeah, to me, this is pretty scummy behavior because he didn't announce that it was going to be a Kickstarter, right? He just realized that he wasn't getting anything done, so he tried to make it look like he moved the buck along.
The release of the game, they got a partial release of the game into early access. And then in 2019, they just completely removed the question of when the game will be released from the FAQ. So not very transparent, kind of like, I don't want to say scamming, but people were promised a full game in December of 2017, and it's now in 2019, and they just removed that from the FAQ of when it was going to release. But again, hashtag where's the money? Because he raised, at least from this screenshot that I found, and it might have even gone up to more, he raised almost $20,000 for this shitty game. This RPG Maker ass game. Where'd the money go, bro? You're supposed to be this...
Did Heartbound, not Heartbound, did Undertale do a Kickstarter? I don't know. Undertale Kickstarter. Undertale, yeah, it was. Though it surpassed their initial goal of 5,000. How much did it surpass it? All right, all right, but Nasmer, let me know. Hey, reach out to me if you wanna jump in to the server. We can get that set up. That'd be fun times. All right.
Expert hacker.
I'll really see if it was.
Blizzard. 7 years of Blizzard coder. 7 years of Blizzard coding experience. Where's the game? Where's the money? Then on September 21st of 2021, Thor said he lost 9 months of development time due to COVID. I don't know what bro does it from behind his computer screen.
Dude, that's
I don't
nuts.
know if he had to stay 6 feet of distance away from his computer because he got COVID AIDS on it. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. And then on September 29th, 2020.
I think he was trying to say like he caught COVID and it disabled him. It's hard to say the validity of that because a lot of people during that time were using the COVID excuse. Like, oh, things are behind right now because of COVID. They use the COVID excuse for like 2 years straight. We still haven't recovered from COVID.
21. He said he contracted COVID in early 2020 and lost nearly a year of development time in recovery. I don't know if bro has a fucking autoimmune deficiency syndrome, but he lost a year of development because he contracted COVID. Man, at that time, that really was the classic excuse when you literally had an excuse for nothing. It was COVID.
Pause, Andy.
Did it. Then all the way in October of 2023, this is October 21st of 2023. Remember, back in 2016, they backed this game for a December 2017 full release date. And then we're all the way up in October 21st, 2023. And then he says he's planning to release Chapter 3 of Heartbound on December 24th, 2023. Unbelievable. Then December came, and he said it was still being actively developed. So, I mean, it's very clear that he intended to milk this for as long as possible. He had no intention.
I don't know about milking it. I think he found out that the streaming game was a lot more lucrative, so he just kind of lightly dropped the game, and now he's just putting out like micro updates to make it look like he's still doing something, because until he was called out for the game after the WoW stuff, he was pretty much doing nothing on the game.
Of getting the game out on this release date, and people have compared his coding, okay, Mr. Insane Hacker Blizzard 7 years coder, to Yandere Dev's coding, and Yandere Dev's coding actually is...
Oh man, now there's a name, Yandere Dev. Comparing old Fig Tree to Yandere Dev is pretty funny.
Which is unfathomable. And he uses this experience of developing this game as some sort of point of authority when he's talking about game development in the game industry. It's just clearly deceptive. It's all a persona. None of it is real. It is all smoke and mirrors with him. And I've covered in my other videos the kinds of things he does with that image that he's built up. And just as another point of evidence for the fact that that COVID claim was absolute bullshit, in 2023 he got another round of COVID, but this time his recovery was only 20 days.
So yeah, it's kind of a short one. I'm sorry I didn't get more stuff done, but that was a hell of a thing. That's the second time I've gotten COVID. The first time took 9 months to recover. This one took
9 months. Like, really? 9 months to recover? Come on.
I think it was in total about 20 days. So thankfully I'm back on it, and I'm back to working on stuff. So I'm sorry that there's no update, but I will see you guys all later.
So the idea that he lost a year of development due to COVID, and then the next time it was only 20 days is hilarious. But I mean, I don't think I can say any more on this. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious that, one, his entire persona, his entire identity, his entire experience, work background, history is all a facade. This facade is carefully built up to distance himself from his past and some of the horrible things he's done, some of the relationships he's torched. the communities he's been ousted from, and he will build up a fiercely loyal fan base and use them to defend and attack people. And he has no problem silencing criticism by abusing DMCA and report functionality. Unless something absolutely major comes to light, this will be my last video on him. But I'm open to ideas of what else you guys think I should cover. With all that being said, peace out, boys.
I think this guy could have gone with like showing more of the evidence of stuff like this. There's a lot of claims, and I think like I said, I think the claim of grooming is just overblown and doesn't match up. It just I wouldn't say it about someone else who clearly wasn't grooming. I'm not going to say it about Pirate Software, as much as I would like that to be the case. So finally, we got one more video and a screenshot to go over, and I think I'm going to be done with Pirate Software content for a while. I'll be cutting it up and doing clips because those seem to be doing really well. But if you don't know who Card Posting is, he's a lefty YouTuber who his videos were based around dog whistles for a long time. That was his thing. He would talk about different kinds of dog whistles and how they, how they're used and where they came from. Very interesting stuff, really. Well, I say interesting, it's from a lefty perspective. I think it's interesting, and I'm not much of a lefty. But so if you're on the other stream the other day, we watched Card Posting's video where he said you're allowed to hate Pirate Software, and it's a little over the top, but I get the message that he's going for. He's basically saying, you're allowed to hate somebody. He didn't call for any kind of violence. He didn't call for any kind of, taking any actions or anything else. He was just plainly stating, hey, you're allowed to hate this guy. You don't have to feel bad for that. Well, Pirate Software took down that video, I think for harassment. I don't know if it's back up again. We'll check here in a minute. But I saw this screenshot of him. So we're going to read this and we're going to watch his response to it and go from there. Oh, the end, the postal short. I forgot about that too. At the end, there's a little postal short. So yeah, maybe that was taking it over the edge a little bit. I could see why YouTube wouldn't want that around. But let's read through this real quick. Boop. A few things. I woke up this morning to find out JTH was successful in striking my Portal 2... Oh, no, it was a short that was taken down. A Portal 2 short of him for being supposedly targeted harassment. I'm currently appealing that with YouTube, with the YouTube Jannies. I doubt that they're going to bring that video back up. So I was wrong. It wasn't his hate video. It was this Postal 2 short. If you want, you can. I would recommend archiving my videos about JTH and any others of mine you like. And ideally, you would also save the thumbnails, the comment sections, in case there are any prudent stories. And he may be going a little overboard with this. And they're being added by people who have also had run-ins with JTH. Kiwi Farmzoids potentially have a positive role to play there. Also, if you have any stories of your own about JDH trying to silence, censor, or bully you to that you'd be willing to share, please get in touch with me. And he leaves his comments. If we don't hear anything from GATA within the next 1 or 2 weeks or so about either how he misuses YouTube's copyright and abuse reporting system, yeah, he does do that, against me specifically and lots of people apparently more broadly, then I'll move into enacting the next stage of the plan. The plan, okay? All right, Card. In the meanwhile, I'm just going to continue making the videos every day that I was planning on making before we got sidetracked by JDH. Drama for a week, including a couple more short essays type videos that I wanted to do, maybe a month of daily counting YouTube uploads. I don't know what his counting uploads are, while I'm biding my time. So that's what he said. That was taken down. and then he put out a video about it.
My name.
And we're going to watch that video here as our next piece of content.
Card, and here on my YouTube page I like to make simple little videos about things that interest me. This video will just be something of a quick update for people who might have seen another recent video of mine, one called You Should Hate Pirate Software, which incidentally I'll link at the top of this video's description if you want to go watch it for yourself. Now, I believe and am asserting that Jason Thorhall of Pirate Software not only inexplicably ended up seeing my little video, but he got really mad about it and has tried his best to take it down and to otherwise fuck with it to the best of
Okay, so that one apparently they've tried to take down.
his ability. If that interests you, if you want all the juicy details, just bear with me for a moment and I'll get into why I think all that. But first, just a little bit of specific context. A couple of days ago now, I made a video talking about how I think Jason Thorhall has been acting really shitty about the Stop Killing Games Consumer Rights Initiative, and why I don't like him, and why I think others shouldn't like him either. Now, my YouTube page is, by content creator standards, really, really small. I don't get a lot of views, which I'm perfectly happy with. If something I make gets 1,000 views total, I think that's super. That is beyond all my wildest expectations. But this video I did recently, You Should Hate Pirate Software, I guess the mysterious YouTube algorithm liked it, or it's just a really popular topic right now, because my recent video got about 9,000 views in 2 days.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's still gradually ticking up bit by bit. That's huge by my standards. It's not technically my most popular video outright, but it comes very close, and it's certainly the only video of mine that's done that well in such a short period of time. And I will also assert that, remarkably, Hall happened to see my video when it only had about 400 views on it, and he watched it privately, and got exceedingly angry at what he considered to be an attack on his character, even if it's just coming from absolute small fry like me. And I also believe, although the exact details here may be a little bit speculative on my part, Paul has tried to officially report my video to YouTube as being some sort of terms of service rule breaking targeted harassment. About 24 hours after he tried this, it became clear to him he would not be successful. YouTube evidently declined to agree with him there. If they
So YouTube straight up said no to it, which means it's usually pretty easy, I feel like, to get a YouTube video taken down in these manners. Usually it's just kind of taken down. If it's not, it's probably because he didn't fill out the paperwork right, or something in that nature. At least from what little I've seen of it.
They actually took his complaint in at all. So instead, around this time, Hall instructed people within the innermost circle of his fan community, on services like Discord and elsewhere, to mass report my aforementioned videos themselves, and report my YouTube page, and seemingly to leave a bunch of comments under that video calling me wrong and a bully. Which is, by the way, also the reason that if you go to my You Should Hate Pirate Software video and filter the comments by chronological order, basically the only comments expressing significant disagreement with me all happen to have been left within one 30-minute period, roughly 25 hours after that video was posted. And also, come to think of it, telling your fans to wrongly mass report a video you don't like does seem like a...
I'm hoping he at least shows proof of this, because I've seen screenshots before where stuff like this has happened. I want to say I have. I'll have to go look at them again. But if you're going to make the claim, bring the receipts for me to believe fully that he did it.
Sort of targeted harassment, doesn't it? But I digress. Also, I'm still here, and that video is still here. How about that? Now, at this point, you should be thinking,
Card Posting's drama arc, though, has been amazing.
Card, this all sounds perfectly plausible based on what we know about Jason Thorhall's personality and ego, but ideally, you'd show us proof. That's very true and very astute of you to say. And I do have proof, I have receipts, as the TikTok team say, and I'm going to hold on to them for at least a little bit.
Okay.
The way I see it, I imagine that this video will make its way, sooner or later, back to Hall himself too. Which means there is an outside chance, a small chance, but a chance, he publicly addresses it. Even if in some small capacity, like on...
I don't think he's ever going to publicly address it. Like these situations where he doesn't, like he tries to take down videos and things like that, he doesn't generally bring it up because he knows he's doing something bad. He doesn't want to bring further attention to it. It'll always be super vague, like I'm getting harassment, I'm getting bullied, I'm getting doxxed and all that other stuff, but it's never as, you know, he never really does any direct addressing of these claims. So I doubt that he's going to publicly do it, Guard.
Twitter or whatever. And, firstly, I just want to know what parts of my narrative here he denies, if any. Will he admit he tried to have my video taken down by YouTube mods? Will
Nope.
he admit to the fact he got his fans to try and do the same? Or will he admit he got them to be annoying little toadies in my comment section for a while? I'm hoping that we might be able to get some specific denials from him on record before I tip my hand fully here. Apologies to anyone who might have liked to see some receipts now. I do understand why you want them, but I have considered my options here.
He's been trained well by the commentary community, I think, or maybe Queeman has given him some talking points. Oh goodness.
And I do believe this will be the right way to do this. Trust the plan.
I really need a shield.
Because I don't think Jason Thorhall necessarily realizes the extent of what I happen to know here. And at this point, since I think he's watching, I'll just look directly to camera for a moment to say, "Hey Jason, all your friends hate you, sucker." Anyway, if worst comes to pass, if we hear nothing back from him at all, I'll just make another video in the near-ish future, dropping everything pertinent, okay? As for right now, thank you for listening. Goodbye.
If I told
and
you that
have
a bunch of
lovely day.
French developers who used to work at Ubisoft are getting together to make a game, you'd probably assume it would be another infested grooming sim with copy-paste bandit games and a 5-minute apology to the climate god.
It's doing it again.
That was my biggest fear when I first heard about the dev team for Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Okay.
If you're watching this,
Whew, like every video just went crazy.
Will be
spoilers.
different from most of mine.
Boom. So that's it when it comes to card. Uh-oh, is my stream acting up? I've had like low ping too all day. It's crazy. If you can hear me, if everything looks going well, just send me a message in chat so I can see what's going on here. Oh, there it goes. Back to excellent. Are we good? I think we're back to good.
Once every 6 days or so.
Okay, we're not watching you yet, bud. Bottoms, the billionaire. So, car posting's got his things down. I think he should release the videos personally. Why is this? I thought I already did this quest. Is there something I need to do? Locate the third trial. Finding the Fremen, join a house. Talk to the ornithopter pilot. It says this. I think my game here might have fucked up, but that's all right. So anyway, so that's the card posting deal. And since in his message he kind of mentioned Kiwi Farms, I thought I would watch his video that he has talking about kiwi farms. It's called Can Kiwi Farms Ever Be Good? I'll go in and report back. And general unscripted YouTube plan and update. So I guess he's going to be doing something with kiwi farms. So that should be interesting. Let's see what his plan is or what information he's going to come up with.
Hello there. My name's Card. And here on my YouTube page, I like to make simple little videos about all sorts of things which cross my mind. If you're watching this, I hope you already know that, because this video will be quite different from most of mine, in that, for one thing, it's made almost exclusively for people who already keep up with my stuff. And two, I'm going into it with zero script and zero notes whatsoever. I just would like to give something of an update as to my plans for the immediate future.
Oh, is this just an update video?
Thinking out loud through a couple different thoughts of mine.
Okay, we might not be watching this because this may be a little bit different.
For a while now, I've been trying to figure out whether or not I should do a video called something like, Is Kiwi Farms potentially good?
So we're gonna skip this one because it seems like it's just an update video, so nothing too interesting there. I'll probably watch it offline and see if it's going to be an interesting topic for him to go over. Maybe we'll watch the video when it comes out. So up next, you can see his his face on screen. If you don't know who Tectone is, I don't know what rock you're living under. You are actually legitimately touching grass. I don't get on the internet enough. But he is a whiny little bitch who complains about people doing him wrong and doesn't like to take any accountability for himself. He also likes, he's also jumped on this new wave of like anti-woke politics grift that's gone on, where he's jumping in with Asmongold and Kirsch and all these people that are in it. So out of nowhere, he made a video that is him sitting out in his garden talking about some things, and I thought that was interesting. It's kind of a copy of Asmongold, who does that from time to time on his channel. So I figured we'd watch this, see what he's crying about, and go from there.
Day off. I try to take a day off once every 6 days or so, and the sound quality is probably pretty shit. There's the lawnmower guy in the background. That literally just started, by the way. I could end the recording and just say, I'll wait till he's done, but I already know these videos that I make don't really matter anyways. I don't really think anybody cares. You know, there's fucking little AC unit in the background going there. I got the sprinkler over there. No Mango, he's inside. He's been a very good boy. Sophia's inside as well. Jenazad, Anna, they're probably asleep because, you know, my roommates don't wake up till the crack of noon. Well, actually, Jenazad wakes up at 3 a.m., so I guess he's probably up. But, yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about some thoughts that I've been having. And I would like to preface this saying, like, I'm in a very good mental space right now. I'm very good mentally. I'm honestly pretty happy.
Why do you have to say that? Like, people who say I'm in a very good place mentally generally aren't in a very good place mentally. So it's like, what is this for, too? Like, who are you making this for? To have your fans bleed and cry for you?
Disgusted with the bigger I get, the more successful I get, and I want to make it very clear. I'm not successful like the normal successful. I'm not successful because I worked with the machine. I'm successful because I worked in spite of the machine.
Okay, that this is bullshit. Like, you did work the machine, you just worked different metas. So far, like, I don't know that I've ever seen him against, like, wasn't he part of OTK? It's not really going against the grain, being part of the largest Twitch group that's out there. So you're pretending to be against the grain now, sure. But this, how is this a thing?
I did everything wrong as a content creator, and I still am here today, breaking 1 million subscribers, averaging sometimes well over 10 to 12,000 viewers on multiple different streaming sites. And I'm not saying this because I'm narcissistic.
Definitely narcissistic, yeah.
I'm saying this because I was in my bed just thinking. I had Mango snoring on me, and I was just thinking about how difficult these past 6.5 years were. And I get these messages of, man, I can't believe you're willing to say this on stream. I can't believe you're willing to say the quiet part out loud. I can't believe you're willing.
Weren't we just talking about this, where you get gassed up by your audience because you're saying the right thing for them, so you start to believe that your message is right? Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't a thing you want to do. You want to try and think objectively about what you're looking at. You don't want to be gassed up by your audience. Your audience can be absolute retards.
Willing to stick up for this person. I can't believe you stick to your values. I can't believe, you're fighting against, the streamer clicks, this, that, and the other. And God, I sound like I'm really sucking my own dick right now.
Because you are. You're pathetic.
As a streamer, and what I mean by I succeeded the wrong way is because this is how you succeed. And I don't mean in the short term. Anything can succeed in the short term, but in the long term, I've had 6.5 years of always being successful. And for other streamers, this is how it goes. If you're an attractive woman, congratulations, you've succeeded. You have a career. You will. You can probably make...
I hate to tell you, this isn't always true. Yeah, it's an advantage, but there's plenty of female streamers that don't make it, we'll say, in the industry because of whatever reason. Yeah, you can flash your boobs on stage, but you still have to be some kind of entertaining.
Tens of thousands of dollars if you are a conventionally attractive woman on the internet, no matter how stupid you are. I know that sounds misogynistic, but I'm sorry, it's true. If you have pretty privilege, it's great. Women have it very easy on the internet. Yes, you have to deal with haters who don't want to, listen to your opinion because...
Yeah, this is just cope, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, women can make money off of their body. I mean, that's been a thing forever. So just because we don't have that meta as men doesn't mean that like every woman becomes successful. So like I said, there's 1,000 dead whores or dead whore accounts on YouTube for every successful OnlyFans creator.
You're a woman. However, you will just have people listen to everything you say and not give a fuck about your opinion because they're currently jerking off to you, paying you tens of thousands of dollars, which is great. Now, it's not every woman, but you also have it easier due to the fact that you can just go on any other streamer stream. I mean, look at like someone like Mizkif, you know what I mean? Or like, is there anybody else like Mizkif who does this? You have somebody, they're an OnlyFans girl, you bring them on stream. They have 200 viewers when you first put them on your stream, and then bada bing, bada boom, now they have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, just because...
Well, I mean, there is the Fresh and Fit meta, where you go on Fresh and Fit, well, probably not so much anymore, but these women would go on Fresh and Fit and let them berate them, and then they would get an increase in viewership. Yeah, okay, I agree that meta existed, but I still don't think that equates to... every woman being successful.
Because they're hot and they got into a streamer stream. Maybe that goes on with other streamers in the LA stream. I'm gonna be real, I try very hard not to watch other people's streams. I fucking hate 99.99% of other streams. I hate 99.99% of other streamers, as content creators as well as people. Yeah, I don't really like too many people. No, I used to. I really did used to. But I'll get more into that later. So the other way to be successful as a streamer is you do a lot of dick sucking. A lot of dick sucking. You see this a lot.
Yeah, this is bullshit too. This is where he's trying to say I didn't have to suck up to get famous. Dude, you were part of OTK. I mean, that's the very definition of sucking up to get famous. Do you have to network at a certain point? Yeah, probably, in whatever niche you're trying to get into. But really, you just have to be entertaining. If people find you entertaining, and you have there's a niche for you out there. You might not get super successful. There is luck involved with it, but to say that all these people are just dick sucking to get famous is bullshit. And you're probably the number one dick sucker with all the people you've been I just forgot the word. Networking with, right? He had a podcast with Asmongold. He had Asmongold and Emeru, or whoever was on that one with him. He was with one of the largest companies of, popular streamers. That's going to help boost his stuff. This is absolute bullshit cope from him.
In the VTuber sphere, you see this a lot of the LA scene. Everybody's got to be friends with everybody. Everything somebody else does. Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh my God, my Oshi. Oh my God, everything is so great. Oh my God, there's no drama ever. Oh my God, I love everybody. I love everybody. Please.
Even in this, it's just absolute bullshit. There are successful streamers who do their own thing. Just a fucking basic take.
Do things with me. And I think that leads a lot of VTubers to be doing a lot of collabs with a lot of people they don't fuck with, and I think that leads to a lot of mask-off moments like we saw with Cinder. Because everybody's got to be a dick sucker, and where Cinder's mask fell off, there's 100 more streamers just like them waiting to take their place. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You gotta understand, there's just no way that anybody is actually gonna wake up with that golden retriever energy saying, I love this, I love that, I love this, I love that, and then streamers in the VTubing space get so much hate the moment they start talking about some real shit because there's so much fantasy pretend.
Real shit for VTubers? How do you know it's real shit? I feel like there's, all this speculation. There's like a meta around VTubers too, since Iron Mouse is sick, to say you're sick or disabled or anything else like that. I mean, it's just as toxically nice, and you add pedo baiting onto it.
Fucking Mickey Mouse, everybody's happy, everybody loves each other. It's fucking sickening. It's fucking sickening. I don't know how people buy into that shit, but to be honest, I'm still shocked that people are actively choosing to watch VTubers that don't have a big old pair of jugs, because that's the only reason why I watch them to begin with anyways. It's great.
Yeah, not a surprise since those what was it, DMs or messages of you liking a lot of screenshots of you liking a bunch of questionably aged women.
Well, I say that and then it's like, try to name 5 successful male VTubers. Go ahead. You have 30 seconds. Name 5 successful male VTubers. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do, huh? Let me see. Shoto. Athelstan.
Taku.
That's all I know. Wait. Rev is that's a dude who is a VTuber of a little girl, so that doesn't count. But he's a dude. Nuxtaku, holy, he's a VTuber. Fuck, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, but he didn't really succeed in the normal VTubing way, you know what I mean? Although then again, I suppose neither did Athelstan. Nux is, I guess, dude, you know what's crazy? I'm so fucked up in the head. I've known Nux for so long. I legit just thought he was this blue Jew. You know, the blue Jew from fucking Gintama. Nah, there's actually a human behind that. Holy now I get the mental illness, because I knew his ass back in COVID. That was peak brain rot. Oh, fuck, the AC stopped. Man, you guys might be able to hear me now. That's crazy. So yeah, it's 1, be an attractive female, 2, be a dick sucker, 3, ladder climber, any other streamer that has success. You go, you talk to them, you get buddy, you chill in their chat, you hope to God you get a collab, you hope to God you get a raid, this, that, and the other.
Isn't this the same thing as a dick sucker? You're just dick sucking one person?
Everybody's got to pretend to be everybody's friend, but then the moment any controversy happens, you will find out who your real friends are. Very quickly. You will find out who still wants you on their stream. You will find out who wants to talk to you in the DMs. You will find out who is actually there for you, which one of your friendships.
Okay.
You know.
We're talking about like internet friends, right? I feel like there has to be some detachment from from that you're not, you can't take that to heart, right? I wouldn't. This isn't like being in person, getting to know the person, different things like that. I'm starting to make some friends on here, but as for, you know, true meaningful relationships, that's yet to be seen. Then, but, you know, I don't know. I think you should keep a fair distance from that kind of stuff, just to be, as a precaution, right? Because you don't really know these people. So how are you gonna make a good judgment on those people?
Are real and which one's not. And you'll learn that very quickly. It's very easy to play pretend. It's very easy to ladder climb. It's very easy to be fake as fuck.
That's not true. Like, if that was true, everyone would be a fucking YouTuber and a streamer. That's just straight bullshit.
It's very easy to feign kindness towards somebody who holsters nothing but benefit to you. But the moment, and I mean the moment, that you are of a 1% detriment, a slight inconvenience, maybe an uncomfortable talk you have to have with your chat, you will toss these people to the wayside, and you will never look back, and you will never feel bad. Because at the end of the day, all these fucking streamers, all these fucking content.
Well, I mean, are we really talking about something small? Let's see, you've been accused of rape. You have brought your dad onto stream boasting about him being in the military and stuff like that, and find out that his sexual assault cases, multiple sexual assault cases, and other things like unwanted touching and stuff like that, has made it to Congress of all places. These aren't small allegations that are being levied against you. These are pretty serious stuff that people may not want to fucking be around.
Content creators only give a fuck about one thing, and that's themselves. You see these streamers blow up. You have the ladder climbers, and you also have the ladder pullers. Those are great. You got a lot of those going on in the, not that a lot of my new audience cares, but one of the reasons why I fucking hate the fucking, oh, I almost said a slur. I'm so glad I didn't say that. Sorry, we're getting a little bit too real here.
I mean, you recorded this, you could have taken it out.
Not the N-word. I wasn't gonna say the super one. Yeah, the gay-ass Genshin community. There's so many people that succeed in that space. And I was the most successful Genshin Impact content creator of all time. And when I succeeded, like I have been doing for 6
Well, yeah, were you still in OTK at that time?
Made it a point to bring up as many other people with me as I could. Because that's what I do, that's what I care about. I like growing other people's streams. That's why I work so heavily with Mythic Talent. So I like bringing money to creators. I like bringing success to creators. I like having people who I can cherish in this world, and I do. I have a lot of great friends. But trust me, for every friend that I've had, I've lost 20 or 30. And that's just a common thread of life. That's something that you guys are going to realize.
If you got 20 or 30 friends, you don't have real friends. There's no way you're having a personal connection with like 30 people, right? That's just kind of ridiculous. Yeah, you have acquaintances or people that gather around you for your fame. That's just part of being this famous as you are. But to say that you had 30 meaningful relationships is just fucking brain dead.
The friends that you have in elementary school, you're not going to have them in middle school. The friends you have in middle school, you're not going to have in high school. The friends that you have in high school, you're not going to have in college. The friends in college you might have for a foreseeable future, unless you guys move too far apart, and then you'll fade. You'll talk every now and then on DMs, but it'll fade. And it's the same thing with content creator friends and Discord.
Wow, thank you.
The moment you stop playing the same games, the moment you stop going to the same places, the moment it stops being convenient for these people, you will lose them. Now I'm very...
Or maybe you just fucking move on. You have different paths. Right? Why are you making such a big deal out of this?
I'm very prideful because I can count on more than two hands the amount of lifelong friends that I've had, real friends, people that are there no matter what, that are above the noise, who don't care, because that's how they get you. And that's my biggest weakness, is they get you because they care, and you will be weak if you care too much. Thankfully, I've already experienced the worst of it. You know, Jesus. I got people going after me.
Fucking play victim.
Don't get me wrong, guys.
But he's a fucking rapist. Like, what are you talking about?
I understand what my dad did was bad, right? But people are greatly exaggerating what he did just so they can take me down a peg. Brother, it doesn't do shit. You know what?
How are they greatly exaggerating it? Is it because they're calling him a rapist? Like, if you sexually assault someone, yeah, they're gonna call him a rapist. I'm sorry, you're the one that brought him on stream, which made him part of the public eye, which caused people to look up his past. And you can't, like, there's a thing where he's like, I didn't know. I just don't believe that. You're telling me this guy had a bad relationship, he knew his dad went to jail, but he just never bothered to look up why his dad went to jail? Like, fuck off.
That did, it got me to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Go f yourself, go suck my dick. You can sit there.
Also, who gives a fuck about? I hate this insecure clout chasing idea. Like, oh, I got 1 million YouTubers. Okay, that's great. I'm glad you got 1 million YouTubers. That has nothing to do with your father being a rapist and you bringing him up on stream.
You can have your fun. You can spread your misinformation. You can talk shit about me. You can talk shit about...
What's the misinformation?
What my ex said. And did you hear what he did back in Arknights? Did you hear what he did back in Genshin Impact? Unfortunately for all these retards on the internet, we're moving towards a new era where people are actually getting this, doing a Google search. They're realizing that I have done nothing but tell the truth for 6.5 years.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. Like, a lot of these fans that you're getting aren't going on Google and saying that you've been saying the truth for 6 years. I think the people going on Google are the ones that are complaining about you being, a little clout chasing goblin who might be involved in some rape allegations, or the ones who are saying, rightfully so, that your father is a rapist. I don't think that's a concept that people are wrong about.
And that's why I get into so much shit. That's why so many motherfuckers hate me. I succeeded by telling the truth. And it's hard. It is. Because sometimes the truth doesn't make you look good. I succeeded while taking accountability for my actions. I succeeded. For sure.
Where is he taking accountability for his actions? It's the same bullshit we see with all of the rest of these, this new line of grifters who are mad when someone calls them a Nazi, and even though they may not be, they are spouting, the rhetoric and pretending to be edgy without really being edgy.
Showing remorse when I fucked up. And I succeeded by apologizing to those I've wronged. That's not how content creation works. No, you gotta be a robot. In the political space, you can't ever talk about emotion. You can't ever cry. You can't ever get angry.
No, you can't. Yeah, you shouldn't be crying on fucking stream. I'm sorry, bud. But if you're crying on stream, you should get off stream. Like, it's not that hard a concept. Yes, you shouldn't cry in front of millions of strangers. People are going to call you a fucking pussy, you know? Especially you shouldn't be putting it in videos because you just sound like you're trying to manipulate your audience. And I think rightly so. I would absolutely believe, after hearing the way this guy's talked in interviews and stuff like that, that the only thing he cares about is making himself look good, right? And he uses, very common, voice break, very common kind of strategies around that.
Angry. You can't ever be loud. You got to be calm. You got to be like a robot. Any criticism that comes your way.
Yeah, this is bullshit. There's tons of loud use streamers that make it too.
You got to deflect. You got to change the narrative. You got to attack arguments that don't exist and pretend that you're right. You can't own who you are. You just got to be what the machine wants you to be. And that's all it ever is. Fucking harrowing how many content creators I'll watch on stream and then I'll meet them off stream and I'm just like, damn, you are just like not the same motherfucker at all. There's some of the people who I care about so much. Nuxtaku's a real ass motherfucker, man.
He's Nuxtaku has some of the worst fucking takes on politics that there's ever been. He is literally incredibly fake because he just jumped on the Trump bandwagon like there was no tomorrow, and he did it because it prints money, right? It is so easy to make money by jumping on the right-wing talking points. It just happens all over the place. It's really popular right now with current political alignment. As things are going, that's probably in the next year or two, that's probably going to start to fade again, and you're going to see like bread tubes starting to make a comeback.
I don't even know if these people understand how much I actually care about them, because I will admit I'm pretty bad at DMing. I am. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. I don't really need to talk to everybody every day. I like the occasional phone call, the occasional DM, but like, it is difficult talking all the fucking time. People like Nux, man, just such fucking good people. People like Asmongold. Nux is the fucking exact same on-stream, off-stream, which I love. Asmongold's a little bit different. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I've just been so fucking frustrated with content creation. Because obviously, you guys know, I've been a big fan of Asm for a long time. I've had the honor of being in the same org as him and doing a podcast with him. I respect that motherfucker.
So you're saying you sucked Asmongold's dick to become successful, is what you're trying to tell me.
So goddamn much, it's ridiculous. And he is a little bit different off-stream, he is. He's a lot more soft-spoken. He's a lot more, a lot more human. When he goes live on stream, he goes big dick. Hilarious. Love seeing that shit, but it's crazy to see a guy get so much shit. It's crazy to see a guy get so much shit while being one of the best people that I know.
Yeah, being a nice person isn't going to keep you from taking shit when you have retarded takes on just about everything. Like, seeing him jump into the political sphere has just been mind-boggling. Even like he's reading, half of the time he's reading his chat, trying to figure out which take he should have. It feels so fake and forced, and sometimes you can tell he just has absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
Same thing with Emmy. Emmy gets so much shit.
Emmy, that's her name.
Nicholas Light gets so much shit. One of the best people I know. Shinya gets so much shit. One of the best. Best people I know. I could keep going. And it's crazy how I have all these friends who are considered just rat fuck pieces of shit. And they're just such good, down-to-earth people. Donut Operator, the Unsubscribed Podcast crew. Holy fuck, these guys, I'm not even trying to get emotional, but these guys invited me to spend fucking 4th of July with them off stream. Shit makes me so fucking happy, bro. I feel so blessed in this world. I know a lot of people see my journey through content creation. They say, holy fuck, how do you do it? I know this may not make sense to y'all, but I thrive on hatred. It's bad. It's bad. There's so many fucking things in this world that I fucking hate. You want to know why that is? Because there's so many things on this world that deserve to be fucking hated. There is so much bad shit that happens every single fucking day. And you're considered toxic, you're considered negative if you just look at it and say, hey man, that's fucked up, let's fix it. Everybody wants to ignore it. Let everybody else do the fucking dirty shit for them. Just like these privileged ass pussies see these fucking soldiers on the front lines dying for them while damning the actions that they can take to keep their citizens safe, to keep the civilians safe. Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, Benzie. Oh, okay. I'm going to breathe. I hate I do this too much. I got to start glancing regularly at my mute button. So I can't stand when these motherfuckers bring up vets. It's absolutely fucking disgraceful. He doesn't give a shit about the vets. He likes to use them as a little tool for him to fucking come online and get brownie points. Vets shouldn't like him because of the way he does this. These people come out here and fucking use vets as some kind of as some kind of like device. Oh, the vets, we're here for the vets. While Trump fucking drops 30,000 employees from oh, you're 22 seconds behind. When you drop vets from but when they want to fire vets, like the VA system that's supposed to be there to take vets, they'll let them cut everything they want to out of it. It's happening right fucking now that it's trying to happen. I don't see anybody but vets fighting for that. So yeah, every time this dude brings up vets, I just hate him a little bit more.
It's so bad. Bro, freedom is not free. You have to fight for this shit. And I don't want to see anybody...
You've never fought a day in your life for this shit, you fucking pussy. Your family picked up rifles, but you didn't do shit. You just glorified your rapist dad.
Casting judgment on anybody else who's fighting for our fucking freedom. Whether you agree or disagree with the means, you can go fuck yourself. It does suck that I don't like games as much as I used to anymore, but then again, I'm sure when a good game comes around, I'll enjoy it. But right now, the thing that I'm enjoying is called my life, which is great.
Hey guys, I'm touching grass. I'm enjoying life right now. Don't worry, I'm not insecure at all. I'm just enjoying my life.
Used to be this way. I've made a lot of fucking mistakes. I've picked, well, you know, I've had a lot of lady issues. I think I finally got a good one. I'm very happy every time I go off stream. I really...
Is it because she'll listen to every fucking thing you say? I've seen the clips of you talking to your last ex.
I enjoy spending my time with my girl. I enjoy a lot of time spending with my dog and my kitties. I never thought my life would be this way. I never thought I could actually find happiness again. You know, like this much for this long. I always lived my life thinking, how long is it going to last this time? I don't see any red flags upcoming. I don't see it. Before I used to see it. I said, ah, man, this one's so pretty, but man, she's fucking nuts. When's it going to go wrong? Or this one's got big jugs, but my God, I fucking hate this bitch.
Jesus.
Oh, shit. I had another one. That was actually pretty good.
Thanks for admitting you're a complete retard when it comes to relationships. You're just fucking brain dead.
I'll just say her, Elena. Elena was a great girlfriend. That was way back in the day. That was back in college. She was great, but I mean this generally. She was way too aggressive sexually. She was fucking me way harder than I.
Hey guys, I have sex. I promise. I have sex. Did you know that in high school I had sex? Fucking, you're a loser.
I fucked her and I was like, damn, I can't handle.
You're a millionaire and you're still a fucking loser.
I never really liked sex until 31 this year. Yet they call me a sex pest. Yeah, Jesus. It is insane, man. The truth doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't. It's like the court. Truth doesn't matter. Only matters what you can prove. And on the internet, the truth doesn't matter. It only matters what you can get people to believe. I think it's sickening how little people go, let me Google that. They go, well, Hassan said this, and I really want Hassan to eat my asshole, so I'm...
Hassan bad, guys. Here we are. The riveting content. Hassan bad.
Go ahead and believe this. Well, Denim said this, and she's at least a 6 out of 10. I've never seen a woman before, so I'm...
This dude coping, listen, I don't like fucking Denims, right? I think half of the shit she said is unhinged and all that, but you can't deny that she at least looks decent. There's a reason, people like to watch her with her tits hanging out, and it's not because she's a 6 out of 10.
But watch her forever. I believe what she says. Good Lord, that whole Hassan clique is fucking disgusting. We are in the day and age where we have actual fucking supervillains, right?
No, we just have a day and age where people listen to retarded YouTubers for their politics, right? No one should be listening to Asmongold for his takes on politics. But now we have millions of people doing it. Thousands of people every day. No one should be listening to fucking Tectone or fucking, what's his name? Nuxtaku or any of these other retards. Just like people shouldn't be listening to Hassan for his crazy outlandish takes, right?
Supervillains. Harassing people's real life, their family, their children, their parents, their grandparents, their dead relatives. They're calling people criminals. They're giving them false allegations. They're doing false accusations. And because people align with them politically or are left-leaning, they say, these are the good guys. Holy fuck.
So just because they're left-leaning, these are the good guys?
Holy fuck. I feel so bad for the children of today's day and age, because it's going to be a mess, guys. It's
Now we're appealing to children. He's taking every fucking little soy, oh no, probably not soy. He's taking every little manipulative tactic. Think about the kids. The kids are just having such a bad time, and the soldiers too. And everybody, it's just so bad because of these lefties. It's so fucking disingenuous.
Only going to get worse. You got these fucking freak shows on Twitter saying, yeah, they're 8 years old. Yeah, they're old enough to chop their dicks off and inject HRT. Yeah, go ahead. What the fuck?
I don't disagree entirely with that.
I'm very glad my parents didn't push me off a building because I believed it so fucking hard.
Well, I wish your parents would have pushed you off of a building so that I didn't have to sit there and watch this video.
These are life-altering decisions that should not be made at 8 to 12 years old. I also feel so bad for gay people. Because my God, there is no one on this earth who makes gay people look worse than gay people. What the fuck are these pride parades? You're gay, so you gotta walk around naked with your dicks out in front of the...
Yeah, and okay, this is the thing about those, right? I absolutely hate the fetish pride shit, but that's not like the entirety of Pride Month. You're focusing on the degenerate shit like they're focusing on your dad being a rapist. It's it's not the whole of what the pride community is saying. And even the party stuff, I don't think most people aren't going there for the degenerate shit. Or at least I would hope not. And even then, is it the vast majority of gay people? I don't know. This is just appealing to whatever right-wing talking point is of the day.
The kids, what the fuck are we doing? Lazy ass parents put on Coco Melon.
Dude, you ain't got no room to talk. You don't have fucking kids. It's just every fucking talking point, like boomer talking point. Yeah, some parents put on Coco Melon. Who gives a fuck? Now, you can argue. I'm not even going to argue this point. This is just bullshit.
A day. Kids are being raised by this gay ass shit on the internet. Believing everything they see on Fortnite and Minecraft and fucking Gaia Online.
Yeah, just like a retard who gets on stream and lies about his father. Just like a guy who makes the worst talking points on Earth. Like, how are you any different in ruining our children than anything else on the internet?
Dated reference, that's just probably dead. What happened to Neopets, man? Content creators getting fucking pets for clout, not even raising them.
Where does this happen? Like, I've seen maybe one person who threw a cat, but and I don't remember who that was. But is that like a mass problem on Twitch and YouTube that people are abusing animals? Or are you just making shit up at this point?
Treating cats like fucking furniture rather than friends. It's just depressing, man. It's rare seeing people treat each other like humans. Or even creatures like, their friends.
I'm going to tell you this. If you get off the internet, you see a lot more people treating each other like humans. Like, it's fairly common in the real world and not as doomer as I think you might think. Yeah, kids are more attached to the internet nowadays. There's, studies showing that they may be less social physically, but you still have people with families and everything else involved with that. What the fuck is this guy doing? He built into a mountain? Okay, bud. Or is it just a door that goes nowhere? Anyway, he's literally just going over every talking point he can to make his audience clap like seals for him.
They just treat them like objects. It's fucking disgusting. And the worst thing is, everybody who's trying to advocate for better treatment of each other.
You also notice how vague he's being. He's not making any points about individual subjects. He's talking in wide strokes about, everything. He's not actually looking into the weeds. At best, he's maybe reading he's maybe reading the headlines of something and coming to a shit conclusion.
Who are trying to go against the bad guys, well, congratulations. They're the bad guys. These people have no media literacy. If you're right-leaning, if you're conservative, you're a Nazi. Jesus.
Hey, rights Nazis, guys. Never heard that before. Even though it's pretty much been like these left talking points are pretty much dead. Like no one, when you hear someone get called a Nazi, you don't think, oh man, that guy must be a Nazi. Sure, in the lefty circles, but for everyone else, no, they just continue on with their day.
Everybody's a rapist.
The word has lost all meaning. What is this Spurg about? He's just talking in his secret garden about his feelings and how bad the world is. and just he's trying to get out there. What he's doing is he's manipulating his audience to onto his side. That's all it is.
Everybody's a pedophile, everybody's a transphobe, everybody's a homophobe, everybody's an abuser, everybody's a manipulator. Just because you have a disagreement of opinions. Good God. Getting eaten alive by the fucking mosquitoes out here, by the way.
No one gives a fuck.
I feel like I have a lot of freedom. I'm free from all the shackles that used to bind me. OTK was great being a part of, but it was so good getting out of it as well. It was.
Again, he says the only way to get famous is to suck dick, and then he talks about one of the largest streaming companies that he worked for with all of his little friends sucking each other's dick, you know, to to make each other famous.
I hate when my actions affect others, you know, because there's some people who are weaker, and it's fine to be weak, who can't handle it. And I'm glad I don't have to worry about them anymore. I know you're seeing me call out a lot of content creators, but I hope you guys understand the difference between my channel. And I want you, if you're here, I want you to leave a comment based on this. I want you to really understand the difference between my channel and a normal drama channel.
Oh, now he's even separating himself from the drama channels. He feels fucking guilty that he makes drama content now, so he's got to separate himself. I guarantee it's going to be he's doing it for the right reasons, guys. He's calling out the bad behavior. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Because people will call out drama because of views and clicks, and don't get me wrong, do I want more views? Sure, why the fuck not? Want to know why? Because I know it drives the haters fucking crazy. But I'm not calling these people out because it's my job.
I hate to tell this retard, most people aren't driven crazy by his views. There may be some people who wonder why this retard has a platform, and I would say welcome to the internet. But he's so full of himself that he thinks that this is what's going on.
I'm doing it because if you look at the people who I'm calling out, they're doing horrific ass shit.
Horrific ass shit, just like I fucking said.
Look at my track record of the people I've called out. Atsu, making a fake suicide document to take down his enemies and his friends. Hassan, do I need to say more? Denims, do I need to say more? Brogan, do I need...
Hassan bad, guys. Hassan bad. It's so fucking pathetic to just sit here and do this a little soy thing. Like, I'm the right kind of drama, guys. Not like these other guys who are the wrong kind of drama. They're just doing it for clicks and views. I'm completely not doing it for clicks and views while I brag about all the clicks, views, and subscribers that I get off of the back of this.
Need to say more. Mike from PA, do I need to say more? You've all heard this 1,000 times. The horrific fucking people who are accusing people of crimes, going after people's dead relatives. Yeah. Spreading as much misinformation to blind the masses.
Hold on. Is no one accusing Hassan of crimes? Like, aren't they saying, like, now I want to go back to their content and really see what they're saying, because, you know, in my recollection, they're saying he's a terrorist sympathizer who has broken federal laws.
Ludwig getting one of his friends to near fatal levels of alcohol poisoning, ruining his entire life, and then skirting all accountability and not lending out a hand to help a guy who is one of the sole reasons why he's still successful in this space. I mean,
I can't speak on allegations that I don't know what about. Ludwig is a complete fucking a complete loser who just has no position on anything. So, you know, take with that what you will.
Right, people always say with friends like Ludwig, who needs enemies? Bro, that's everybody. so many people are like that. I don't even like Mango. I don't even fucking know the guy. But you see these parties, you see everybody having fun. Mango was in a house with so many people, 80 other streamers, and not a single one of them was a friend. Anybody in that house should have seen that he was fucked up and he needed to be taken out.
Yeah, you see how he purposely used the inflection there? I don't believe in the particularly in the science of reading somebody, we'll say. But like he's purposely getting mad about these situations to act like he's the moral arbiter of this. He's the hero, and all of these other people are villains, and he's gonna change all of this. When really he's just doing what everyone else is doing in this space. They're fucking going by what's the popular take for their side of the argument and rolling with it. There's no deep analysis on what Hassan has said. They only pull up the same, clipped items. And, I'm not even going to say it at this point. We all know what Hassan is, but that doesn't mean you have the right to just completely be dishonest about it. I'm sorry.
Now, they could have said something. They could have done something. They did nothing. They did nothing. And yeah, he's retarded. But my God, would it have killed somebody to fucking do anything? I'm glad we have people like Sensitive Society and More Pegasus, WestJet.
More Pegasus?
Piece of shit.
And Sensitive Society?
Fucking piece of shit.
Oh man, piece of shit.
Actors, they get labeled as slop tubers because, man, they really hate when people talk about the truth, don't they? They really hate it. They hate it, bro. The world hates the truth. They fucking hate it.
Dude, it's... This guy makes vague takes on stuff, calling people bad and this like that with no real criticism. And, or no real objective criticism, we'll say. And then he wants to play like this, right?
Have I been wrong about some things? Absolutely. 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 But I always try my best. It's a big ass bug. I always try my best to be as transparent, as honest, as truthful as I possibly can. I might have messed up. I might have spoke on some things in the past where I didn't have the full context. I mean, shit, I didn't even know what my own dad did until recently. I had to find out about that shit.
Yeah, that to me, that's absolute bullshit. There's no way he never looked up his dad who went to jail to see what he did. What did he just, did his dad never say? Well, I'm sure his dad didn't admit he raped women, but like, you didn't get curious? You didn't like ask around? Somebody knew, right? Is he still with your mom? Maybe your mom knew what he did. I don't know if she stuck with him or whatever, but it's just really hard pressed to believe that he had no idea what his dad did.
Hassan. Although, again, he greatly exaggerated it. Greatly exaggerated it. But I'm glad I'm in this era where I've broken the illusion of the internet. And now I've approached everything with skepticism. I watched a couple videos of that stoicism shit. Jesus, holy, that thing is huge. That's the biggest bug I've ever seen in my whole life. What the fuck is that?
It definitely touches grass.
Jesus. It's like a fucking bug the size of a fucking bird. That thing gonna pick me up and fucking fly away. Gonna bring me back to the nest. Gonna bring me back to Roach Ranch. There's a lot of things I wanted to say. I probably didn't say all of them. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I woke up this morning and I didn't feel too good, so I took the day off. And I also really wanted to spend the day with my girlfriend and my dog. I'll be real. I'm trying very hard to spend time with the people and the things that I care about the most in this world. I probably could have streamed, but I really wanted to chill with my girl and my dog. I spent about an hour and a half today.
I have a girlfriend, guys. I have a dog. I am a normal person. I am a normal person. I have a dog. I have a girlfriend.
They building a mono green, it's called Shroofus deck for my girl. $500, Jesus. But, fuck, I love.
Let's flex a little money. I have money, guys. I have money that I spend on my girlfriend. He did abuse this one, too. The one he's currently with, I'd like to see information on that. But, I mean, he seems like a very controlling person. Like, I don't want to call him a narcissist, but he definitely is willing to tear people down. You know, proof from the video with his ex is just what I say. Like, he was absolutely tearing her down, saying he was the greatest, you know, boyfriend to her, greatest husband to her, while she is, you know, bad. She's the bad one that never looks after her needs. Only he's the only one doing that. Repair station. Let's go to the MK2 Cuttery. All right.
I love playing Magic the Gathering. It's so good. But I do feel very bad for a lot of people who watch my videos, not because my videos are that bad, and they are bad, but not that reason. But the world is it's not easy. It's not. I know a lot of people who watch me, who watch content creators in general, unemployed, working minimum wage jobs, and they probably live lives they don't enjoy. And they use these videos as an escape. And I think about it every day.
I'm thinking about you, the hard-working person. I always think about you, and I make content so that you can feel a little bit of life in your worthless, pathetic existence.
I think about how hard you guys have it. I think about how difficult the world is. I think about how much bullshit you guys got to deal with, and I'm not gonna lie, it fucks me up. I'm a pretty emotional guy, I'm not gonna lie, and I know it does. I know it's not good to be an emotional guy in the content creator space, but I developed empathy at 3 years old.
Jesus, come on, like. I'm not a complete narcissist. I'm not a complete narcissist. I developed empathy, guys. Oh, you said, did he abuse this one too? That I don't know. I mean, that's yet to be seen. We'll give it a few months, maybe a year.
I just hope everybody watching this video, if you're experiencing a hard time, you gotta fight. You can't give up. You can't let these people hurt.
Don't KYS, guys. I know it's hard out here, but I'm here to make sure you don't harm yourself. I'm here to make sure you don't Minecraft yourself. This is just, he's trying to appeal to every person out there that is his fan, so that he can he can continue to get subscribers and views. That's all it is, man. Just say that. Just say that you're in it for the money, and this is making you a lot of money.
Hurt you.
Oh no. Oh no.
You can't let them slow you down. Whether that's a shitty fucking friend that stabbed you in the back, and trust me, I know all about that.
He's right there.
But
I got it. I'm there.
Question for you guys to name a single person who I've ever stabbed in the back. I don't do that. Nope.
Wasn't it your wife that you abused? I mean, I'd have to go looking through his history. I don't know a ton about Tectone, but I'm pretty sure we could point some out. Didn't he leave? Well, I guess that was them stabbing, quote unquote, him in the back.
I even go so far as to defend my enemies. There's some people.
Defend your enemies? Tell me one time that you have made an honest criticism about denims. Like one time that you've done it. You have never, like, you're just saying things. I bet you, you,
currently,
like losing it, fucking losing it.
He says this, even though that person did this. I could ruin these people's fucking lives, but I just choose not to.
Oh, come on. I could ruin your life. I just choose not to. Okay, so if you've got some bad stuff on some of these supposed creators, are you not a bad person for not releasing it? Like, what are you saying, that you can, you have enough clout that you can send your audience against them? Where's this thing that you could destroy them? Like, you seem to have been doing a pretty shit job from now.
Sometimes it's just I'm just trying to let go. And maybe I'm making a mistake. Maybe I should hold these people accountable. I don't know. I hope you guys can continue to fight every day and keep your head up high and know that hard work is how you're going to find a place of salvation. It's how you're going to find your Vinland Saga. Great anime, by the way, you should watch. And where you will find your peace, because you cannot achieve anything worth attaining or anything covetous in this world without hard work. So keep that shit up. I know it's hard right now.
Oh.
But you gotta keep pushing. You do. You do. And I know that may sound corny. That same advice from one of my favorite content.
No, it sounds manipulative, is what it sounds like. It sounds like you're just trying to manipulate your audience into thinking, yeah, I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. While all around you, you show the same behaviors as all the other retards that are going through the Hassan Ethan drama. Like, I stay away from it because it's so brain dead, and it doesn't matter which side, you look at. It's just no thinking whatsoever.
Creators. His name is Etika.
And now he's bringing up dead YouTubers to pull more sympathy. Suddenly Etika is his favorite fucking streamer.
He said some pretty motivational shit about about himself. Motivational.
Freudian slip. I saw this part on Queeman, so I won't say that I came up with that initial idea, but that's kind of a slip. I mean
shit about his life and how things are hard, and that gave me the strength to keep fighting. And unfortunately, he didn't have that same strength. But I do every now and then try to talk about some of the morals, some of the values, some of the content that some of my favorite creators, some of my favorite singers, Chris Cornell, Reckful, Etika, preach. Because I don't believe you've truly died until people forget about you.
So are these all dead YouTubers? Like, I'm not fully enriched in the lore of YouTubers that have killed themselves. So is he just naming every YouTuber that's that's done this and using that? Like, how can you not, like, I get not being an armchair fucking therapist, but how can you not see this as manipulative behavior? Like, straight up manipulative behavior to to fucking be dishonest, just to try and manipulate your audience into thinking I'm not as bad as you think, right? I'm not that bad, guys.
And to those people, they meant so much to me. I don't really want to let their memory die. A lot of the people who I looked up to the most in this world have committed suicide.
Jesus Christ. Fuck you is all I have to say. No, I have more to fucking say. Fuck you for using dead people to push your own little fucking narrative. You're a worthless sack of shit who doesn't deserve anything in life, and you deserve... Okay, we're not going to say that. You are a manipulative piece of shit who doesn't give a fuck about any of these people and is willing to use them for your means. You use vets for your means and don't really give a shit about vets. Now you're using dead YouTubers to fucking push your narrative. It just happens to be all the YouTubers that you like are dead. And it's because of what? The lefty menace?
Sad, because some of the most beautiful people on this earth, you know, the brightest stars burn out the quickest. And it's fucked up. I wish I could have met him. I wish I could have said something to him. I'm so fucked up. I think, well, maybe if I knew him, that wouldn't happen.
That's what I keep forgetting to do.
You know, it sucks because Wreckful passed before I ever got a chance to meet him, even though we would have lived in the same town. And trust me, I get it. Knowing the Austin scene right now, that's enough to make anybody crazy. I don't know. It's just fucked up thoughts I have sometimes. I can't tell you how nice it is and how life-changing it is to have one good friend that always has your back. But in a space paraded by some of the fakest motherfuckers on this earth.
It's funny that he says that knowing he knows he's one of the fakest motherfuckers on earth. But he still sits here and looks you in the eye, or the camera in the eye, in the lens, and tells you that all these other motherfuckers are fake. All of these people are not the right people, right? Advocator. I think that's the one I'm going to need, but I need steel for that. Just... Oh, that's not what I needed.
Sometimes this field just disgusts me. Some people got no way to shit talk someone adequately, so they'll just make shit up. Because the moment you get enough people to believe it, well, now it's the truth.
And all of this is to point out that everything against him is made up. His dad wasn't a rapist. He wasn't an abuser in his relationships. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's never stabbed anyone in the back. That's all this is for, is try to improve his reputation. I'm not bad, guys.
I want to remind you guys that the best revenge to the people who've wronged you is to live a good life. So do that. Find that. Find happiness. Push through all the bullshit. Find your happiness. And that will destroy everybody who's attempted to destroy you. I'm probably rambling at this point, but I didn't get to stream today, so I kind of just wanted to yap. I miss you guys. Appreciate the subs and the channel. Make sure to follow me over on Kick. Probably still not going to stream on Twitch. We'll see what happens when I get unbanned. Love you guys. Take care of yourself.
I guarantee when he gets unbanned, is he unbanned now? That he'll still open up Twitch. Just fucking a disgrace. He's a wretched disgrace. In every sense of the word. So that was him, his secret garden, crying about everything he could get his hands on. Just awful, I guess is the best thing you could say. So with that, I don't think I have time for another segment on here, considering how much I yap in my videos. So I think we're going to call it a day for now. I'll be back on Wednesday, like I always am. If you like the stream, hit a subscribe button. Trying to work my way up to 50. And I'll be putting out, I'm starting to get more regular on posting my segments. So if you're not a stream guy and you happen to catch this at the end, you can always catch one of my segments on the channel. That way you can, not have to search through a 3 to 4 hour video. But y'all have a good day, guys, and I will see y'all next time.